Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It's a great day to be alive on this trade deadline Tuesday of Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. T-minus 59 minutes and 5 seconds until the end of the NFL trade deadline. And if we're being completely honest, I'm already feeling the same way I felt the last 5-6 years of following the Green Bay Packers. There's no other way to put it. This should be a day in which, like, one of these times I'm going to feel inspired by something on the trade deadline, and except it's not. Preston Smith was traded for those who missed it, and it's not the Preston Smith thing. We'll get into this right away here. Preston Smith was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Packers get a 7th rounder. They're able to get off of his contract and the money situation, but like what that's a nothing burger, right? Like his snap count was down. Other guys are getting opportunities. It's not a shocking move by any means, right? He's old, and as we welcome in 100.5 ESPN Madison, it's Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
Were you stalling?
No, I wasn't stalling. I'm just like I can't tell you how many times I've sat here on trade deadline day and either A, heard the Packers were in a mix for somebody, or B, last year, Rasul Douglas was traded, and now C, this year, Preston Smith is just like a contract move. Like, it's freeing up money. And so it's just like, you see Zadarius Smith, who isn't in the prime of his career anymore, but he's still a capable pass rusher, get traded from the Cleveland Browns to the Detroit Lions, who lost Aiden Hutchinson, the same team that you lost to no less than 2.5 days ago. And so you still have a Packers team where the defense isn't bad, but the consistent pass rush is not there without blitzing. And so I'm sitting here, and it's either corner or edge rusher, and by no means in the next 57 minutes do I feel as if anything will change from this team, and we'll just be breaking down, as we always do, how they're going to get the most out of their team and how they're going to try and win the way that they're doing, and I'm kind of getting sick of it.
Yeah.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman.
Yeah, I mean, this is life, man. This is life. The Green Bay Packers don't make these moves, so when they do make moves like they sign a Xavier McKinney in the offseason or Josh Jacobs, that's why we celebrate. We get so excited because this is something that we just aren't used to. When it comes to the trade deadline, we aren't buyers on the trade deadline, whether we're a Super Bowl contender or we're just a middle-of-the-road, maybe going to make the playoff team. The Green Bay Packers aren't buyers at the deadlines. And what we've seen under Goody is we're sellers. He's always thinking about how he can get younger. How can we get younger? And at this point, how much I would love to add some pieces, and I know there are some pieces out there that can definitely contribute to this team. I expect absolutely nothing. I don't get my hopes up anymore. I can sit here and think about Marshawn Lattimore. I can think about trying to go and get somebody, but at the end of the day, I know nothing's going to happen. So I just sit here, twiddle my thumbs, and wait until 3 p.m. and say, another year, another nothing.
But the thing we have to ask ourselves is that okay? Like, are we okay with the Packers?
You can say it like that. That's what's happened. We know that's what happened.
That's the way of the Packers.
So you're just a sheep. You're okay. You're just I'm just going to follow.
I'm not a sheep, but I mean, if it happens over and over again, why would I expect different results? I'm not a bad-ass sheep. I'm just an individual that's come to the realization that when it comes to the trade deadline,
Wallace.
But you're frustrated with the Packers oftentimes because they don't quite make it to the Super Bowl expectations that we have for them, right? 3 times in 30 years with 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, they will have made it to the Super Bowl, and twice they won it. Well, you see the Kansas City Chiefs making moves. You see the Detroit Lions making moves. You see the Washington Commanders making moves. These are all teams that are trying to vie for the Super Bowl contention and try to shape their roster. So it's strange to me because it's always around the trade deadline the most clear delineation of which teams are contenders, which teams are trying to build for this season, and which teams are starting to wave the right flag for this season. And that is delineated between buyers and sellers in the trade deadline. The Packers, Super Bowl contention. The Packers
Just heard Brad
Who
twice.
was that? Did I just get AI'd somehow?
You just got AI'd hard there.
Hardcore. Well, I just look at this and I think, man, it's just so strange that the Packers are just so anti. It's like the economic marketplace of the NFL. They do the opposite. In a year where they're like, hey, we're knocking on the door, we're a playoff team, we want to be competitive, we win a Super Bowl, they're selling. And like I'm okay with trading Preston Smith. As you said, Ben, it's cap savings. He wasn't very productive. Snap countdown. You're going to have other younger guys, particularly Mosby and Enigbare, who I think are flashing lately, who might actually provide, the same, if not better quality. I'm just surprised that there are holes on this team that need to get filled, and the Packers just don't do anything.
800-990-3776. That's the ESPN Wisconsin talking text line. How do you feel about Goody's approach to the trade deadline? And I mean holistically. There's 54 minutes. We could see something come through. We'll update you if something does come through from a trade perspective. But as of right now, it's just trading Preston Smith for the 7th rounder and getting rid of his contract, and he's old, and Goody's got infatuation with just getting younger.
Don't you guys realize that when Goody put this team together, he already said, I have assembled the necessary pieces in order for us to compete. Matt LaFleur, now you need to cook. So why would he go? And again, I may disagree with this, but that's what the realization is. Why would somebody who believes that he gave Goody all the pieces he needed in order to cook, and then in his mind, as you just said, Brad, who are the two players that you think actually popped this year more than Preston Smith that have probably a brighter future in the next couple of years than Preston Smith?
Mosby and Enigbare.
Okay, so if you noticed that, I bet you he noticed that as well.
Of course.
He says,
of course, but that's not going to win you a Super Bowl, Kyle. Isn't that your ultimate goal? Like, that's ultimately where I want to keep this conversation. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you signed Jordan Love. The expectations were high for this team. The Lions have won the division and knocked you out of the playoffs the year prior, went to the NFC Championship game, just beat you head-to-head. You're seeing them make moves, and you're seeing yourself at a position group that isn't great do nothing. Like, I'm not saying it's worse or better, right? You're going to give more opportunity, but this is like what Brad was explaining to me, and my frustration comes to is you get to see in the trade deadline, like, people are putting their stamp on how they feel about their team. And I feel, no, you do. The Commanders made a strong move trading for Marshawn Lattimore.
They ain't never been here before.
Okay, that's fine, but they still are telling their team internally that we believe that this is a great chance for us to do something special. Right? Brad, you were in the locker room. Just go right to this for me. Did you have any, as your time with the Panthers and the Jaguars, where there was an in-season trade to help your team get better, and did that have any impact on the team moving forward? Because the Packers don't know what that feeling's like.
It happened 2 times. So each time, it ended in a very successful year. The first time was the Carolina Panthers, 2015, traded for Jared Allen, right? Former Minnesota Viking player, DN, traded for Jared Allen, brought him in, and he was an immediate impact on the defensive line for the Carolina Panthers. We went to the Super Bowl that year. Fast forward 2 years. We had Marcel Darius, who was a Bills defensive lineman, traded him to the Jaguars. That was the year we went all the way to the AFC Championship game. Again, it immediately pivoted where, the stance of the team, the strength of a position group. Funny story about Marcel Darius, too. He was known for having 26 cars.
26?
26 cars.
Doesn't sound like a smart move.
He kept him in
money.
Kept him in an airplane hangar in Alabama, and he had multiple of the same car in different colors.
Did you make sure you had a lot of good investments?
I broached the subject every once in a while with Marcel, but it was just one of those things. And either way, back to the Packers and back.
So
to
do you know about the S&P 500, Marcel?
Yeah, think about what they keep 5 cars and sell the other 21 and invest that. But that's a different story. When you look at it, it impacted the team in a lot of ways. You look at when a guy who's a stud on a different team shows up in your locker room. Literally the next day, you get juice, you get excitement. You're like, our team just got better. That same feeling that Ben is describing, we felt when those guys walked in a room. And you felt like you had a new invigoration of energy and optimism and possible success for the season. When you see your team trading guys, it sends a message. I was never a part of a team that was actively selling off parts, but I would imagine you would look around and say, well, clearly we're not trying to field the right talent. And I'll be honest, NFL players, we think very short term. I mean, you're only focused on this season. You're not focused on next year or the years after. I know GMs live in that world, but when you see a guy that's maybe a starter leave, the messaging, unless you got a guy who's a stud ready to fill in, the messaging is, well, I guess we're not trying to field the best talent this year.
Y'all acting so brand new. A lot of these guys have been part of the Packers organization, and most of these guys were on the team last year. What happened on the trade deadline last year?
They
traded Rasul Douglas, a veteran. Did this team tank? Did they go to the bottom? Were they a top 10 pick team last year?
No, but could Rasul Douglas have helped them in the playoffs?
Rasul Douglas could have helped them in the playoffs, but he wasn't.
He was AFC Player of the Week like 3 times after they traded him.
He wasn't the guy that was going to elevate them to a championship, just like Preston Smith is not the guy that's going to elevate them to the championship.
We agree on that.
And I understand where you're coming from because I agree.
And you're just a sheep.
No, I'm not a sheep. I'm just someone who says this is what the reality is. And in Goody's mind, he believes that he has given Matt LaFleur a roster in order for them to be successful to compete this year. Would I have loved them to go out and get somebody in the next?
What does that sentence mean to be successful and to compete this year? Is that good enough for you? Do you want more?
I like the fact
you just want to be consistently in the picture, then complain when you don't win Super Bowls.
I like the fact that the Lions went out and understand they have a Super Bowl window. In order to capitalize on that, they went and got a piece because they lost Aiden Hutchinson. I love the fact that the Washington Commanders are now seeing that they think they have an opportunity. They don't really have an opportunity, but they think they have the thought of having an opportunity, and they went out and got somebody that could help their roster. I agree. I wish the Packers did that. But the history of the Packers leads me to believe we don't need to do that in order to have a chance to be in the conversation.
But Kyle, I agree. You don't need to do that to be in the conversation, but you further yourself up of having a better chance. People complain about 2 Super Bowls in 30 years. Well, when you keep doing the same thing, it's going to be the same result.
It's the Packer way. What you want me to say? I can complain every single day.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. You literally are accepting a little bit of mediocrity from your front office.
I would have an aneurysm if I got so upset about
because
that.
Because I continuously 800-990-3776. We want your thoughts on how the Packers approach the trade deadline. This isn't the NBA trade deadline, but I think it sends a message to the league and to your team about what you think about the roster and where you currently stand. And for me, as it pertains to the Packers, it's just one of those things where I continue to look back and be like, all right, let's look at, I don't want to do it again, but we can. We can look at the last 5 first-round picks. And as I asked you guys, would any of those guys, if they weren't on the roster today, change the record of the Green Bay Packers today? The answer should undoubtedly be yes, because they were first-round draft picks. And when they're not panning out, you're overvaluing picks to a point where you're not helping your team in a moment where clearly you're able to build a successful team with your second and third-round picks. Goody's been great at that. Did he hit on Jair? Yes. Rashawn Gary? Yes, kind of, but they paid him, has been working. My whole entire point is, don't overvalue picks to the point where you're not moving your organization forward to take more stabs, not bites, stabs. They take bites at the apple and we're get a championship. Take a stab. You can take a stab and still not jeopardize your entire franchise. And I'm just waiting for the Packers to get with how these other teams continue to find ways. How do the Chiefs find ways to continue to bring talent in and make their team better?
Yeah, I mean,
I like their mentality. That's why they won a championship, because they matched it up with a great quarterback.
And you have to ask yourself, if the Packers aren't going to do this now, like when will they do this? Because all the other teams, then always at the trade deadline, some teams will take a step forward and the Packers will stay the same. So relatively speaking, teams will get better than them even if you don't do anything at all. There are just teams that are willing to go for it on any given year. The Packers would be like a great investor. They love deferred gratification. They are willing to push it to the future. Very rarely are they able to go all in, and not even go all in, just use a couple of draft picks. We see what these guys are going for, right? 4th and 5th round draft picks. I'll admit, Goody cooks in the mid rounds. At some point, though, you must look at it and say, in order to compete with 31 other teams and at least 10 of them that try to acquire talent at the trade deadline, if you're not doing that, you have lost ground in this season.
Yeah, listen, fellas, I agree. I think the Green Bay Packers aren't that far off. We all see what the issues are. We know right now you have an issue with health in your cornerback room. And then on top of that, you know that you struggle with getting a pass rush without sending more than 4 pass rushers, right? So we all see what the obvious issues are, but Goody don't give a damn, y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not going to sit
hear
here
ya,
and yell and scream about it.
I will, because I'm sick of it.
Last year, you sat here and yelled and screamed last year, and I didn't really care that Rasul Douglas got traded last year. I was happy to get the pick. But we yelled and screamed.
At the time, it looked like the Packers stunk.
Yes. The context was
that's the whole
sell
That's the
message.
whole point. That's the whole point. And so you're telling me.
But it's a year-by-year thing, Kyle. They're 6-3. They've lost to the first.
Ego, fellas.
I know.
So
Trust me.
he says we were able to move on from Rasul and do well. We could move on from Preston and do well. We don't need to add anybody. We can be better. We can turn it around. Like
Man, and are you okay with that?
Listen, am I happy with it? No. Am I okay with it? No. Am I going to live with it? I ain't got no choice. I have no choice. This is the Packer way. It is. I still remember we could have had Randy Moss. I was mad with Brett Favre. Mad they couldn't get Randy Moss. We just don't do it until you go and take away the tree of having a Ted Thompson tree or having a Ron Wolf tree. Until you get rid of all that lineage that we have, the legacy that we have, and move on, which we should not, because we saw what happened with the Badgers right now when you move on from that great legacy and Gary Anderson before. This is what you're stuck with, a conservative approach to drafting, developing, and signing when you need. But when it comes to making big splash and trades, don't hold your breath.
800-990-3776. Brad, you'll love this one. Aaron in Fredonia chimes in. Kyle thinks that last year's Packers story is the blueprint to win for the rest of eternity. Start bad, end well, trade a vet, get better.
No, that's what Goody thinks. I'm telling you, that's what Goody.
You treat this season as if everything that happened last year is just going to happen this year, and it's my favorite part of your fandom this year about the Packers. It was like, holy cow, they went on a run last year. Can't wait for Jordan Love to do it again.
See, again, you can't blame me for this because, fellas, the entire time you've basically been in Wisconsin, and in our entire lives, Stroh's entire life as well, the Green Bay Packers have either won the NFC North, been a playoff team, and competing in the playoffs, right? They've been a team to talk about. And so you cannot get mad at me for thinking that the Green Bay Packers are going to be okay, especially after they find a franchise quarterback who's not playing well right now because he's not healthy, but a guy that most people think is maybe the second best quarterback in the NFL to Patrick Mahomes or the next guy that they'll take, or a top 5 quarterback. So you can't blame me for thinking that they're eventually going to turn things around. They have correctable things that they can get better at. It's not like there's a lack of talent. There are things that they can correct to turn this around, and I think that they can with Matt LaFleur.
Well, I look forward to continuing going through Twitter X, and then, just at the end of the trade deadline, getting those nuggets a little bit later, and it's the Packers were in the mix for blank but couldn't make it work, because that is a lather, rinse, repeat of what I've lived my entire life here on the radio in Wisconsin. 800-990-3776. Are you good with the way the Green Bay Packers handled the trade deadline? Because I'm just getting a little bit tired of it, because I think you can send a message to this team that you believe in them a little bit more without jeopardizing the future still. We'll be back with more Kyle Brust and Nortman. I see your calls. I see your texts. We'll get to you, KBN Nation, and continue reacting to what is the NFL trade deadline next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Milwaukee County, you need to shovel the pathway to the lake, okay? I had to step through snow in order to get to the lake.
I think Kyle's the Karen of the show.
I think
he's high maintenance, for sure.
I think Kyle pays taxes in the county of Milwaukee that just went up. So I expect for this stuff to be piled.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. After every single green and gold game,
you can say it doesn't matter, but that's not being fair.
There's only one place to go for instant reaction.
Once, since they won the Super Bowl in 2010, one season, have they done better than 10th in points given up.
And to give yours on the Boda Box Wine Line. Tune into Green Bay Game Night with Homer after every green and gold game. Right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
Well, seemingly for the Pack, when it rains, it pours, and rain it did on Sunday. Jordan Love, another tough outing as he continues to fight through that groin injury. 23 of 39 for 273 yards and yet another interception. This time it was a pick six to end the first half in their 24-14 loss. Head coach Matt LaFleur.
We know that we've got to take care of the football, but I don't question anything about what he's trying to do. We just got to do it better.
A silver lining, the Packers did rush for 138 yards in the loss.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Are you experiencing joint pain that is keeping you from living the life that you want to live? Especially right now as we're approaching the holiday season, you don't want to be slowed down by that joint pain, whether it be your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back. You got to be like me and go visit QC Kinetics. When I went to QC Kinetics, I had my back that was acting up, and I thought to myself, you know what? I need to go get this seen by a true medical professional, and QC Kinetics blew me away from the experience start to finish. Platelets, plasma, tissue regeneration, things that I had only heard in theory, but now can see with my own two eyes on how QC Kinetics can help people get their life back. From when you arrive, the entire process is personal, the diagnosis is comprehensive, and they meet you exactly where you're at in whatever pain you're feeling. QC Kinetics, don't hesitate and get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It's kind of a mean way on Boy Band Tuesday. I mean, it's usually One Direction Wednesday, but to send Preston Smith with a bye. Some good years with the Green Bay Packers, but on pace for 5 sacks this year. He's been traded for a 7th-round pick. Really a nothing burger, just making the pocketbooks look a little bit better, take the contract off. And I hate this exercise because I know it's a little bit of like revisionist history, and every team can do this. But I just want to say this out loud, right? Jordan Morgan, their 1st-round draft pick this past year. Lucas Van Ness in 2023. 2 and 22. Devontae Wyatt, Quay Walker. 2021, Eric Stokes. Jordan Love obviously worked out. Darnell Savage did not. And Rashawn Gary, we can still make an argument that they should never have signed him to the deal that they did. Half a season into coming back from an ACL injury.
No revisionist history. Nobody said here.
That one is ridiculous. He had bulk sacks. He was not productive each and every single game.
Anybody here raising their hand and saying, "Oh, we signed Rashawn Gary. Bad move, bad move." We all said, "Okay, we applauded it."
Okay, fine. Rashawn Gary isn't about this conversation.
At minimum, it's a question mark because he was coming off his injury. You don't know if he was worth that kind of money, so it felt like a question mark.
So what I do want to ask and bring up here is like, I'm just going to throw names out, and I know whether you think it's possible or not, right? The Max Crosbys of the world, the Myles Garretts of the world.
Ooh.
Say it took 2 first-round picks.
Oh.
Right? If I said, hey, Browns, do you want Quay Walker and Lucas Van Ness for Myles Garrett? They would look and laugh. But if you offer them 2 first-round picks, there you go. Let Goody cook in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. I'm playing a little bit of Madden right now, but I'm also not, because at some point, all I hear from Packer fans is we need a game wrecker.
Yeah.
Guess what? A game wrecker just doesn't appear. You have to go get one either early in the draft, or you have to sign one in free agency, which is very hard for the Packers to do. That was big that they made moves like they did with Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney. So I'm just playing all these scenarios. I'm kind of sick of this Green Bay Packer way at the trade deadline. 800-990-3776. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Jacob in Milwaukee, you're up on KBN.
Yeah, quick question, you guys. I just remember the Brewers went out and got CC Sabathia. That created so much hype around the city, so much love. Who could the Packers go out and get someone like that to make a spark and energize this team? Thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate the call. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way. Like, you'd really have to be getting a rental.
And CC was like the dude. Are you talking about like an all-pro type of player?
That's what I'm saying is like when it's the equivalent of a Myles Garrett, and like the amount you'd have to leverage. It couldn't just be a rental. It couldn't like CC was obviously a small-term thing, so there's no real comparison. Unless you're just like, hey, we'll trade 2 firsts for Myles Garrett and he's gone, but that's not the way the Packers would do it if they did.
Not to throw salt in the game with the Brewers, because I love the Brewers.
Why are you doing that
I
right
remember
now?
when they made the trade and I was ecstatic. I was like, finally, the Brewers making a move. Shout out to Doug Melvin. But, Brad, you were in Wisconsin at the time.
Sure was.
Did CC lead us to the World Series?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you can mortgage the future.
Kyle.
Sometimes you can mortgage the future.
NFL,
it's not apples to apples.
MLB,
Now you're doing the most.
Particularly with the Brewers.
And you know you're doing the most.
No, I'm saying it just because you go and get a big hog, and it doesn't mean it's going to guarantee you that you're going to get to the Super Bowl. But it
sure
does,
as hell helps.
It definitely helps. And with the 2 first-round picks, I'm not too interested in doing something like that unless you really spread out the first-round picks. But I do believe if the Packers did make a move, that would send shockwaves through the locker room of saying, oh, yeah, we're here to compete. We're ready to go. And so I do wish we did something, but again, not waiting for it.
But I just want to, I appreciate the Packer way, right?
Yeah,
Where it's
there's
like,
no
I
doubt.
get it. There is like financial
There's
prudence,
sustained
which I love.
success.
Yes.
You win football games. You fill the seats in Mark Murphy's pockets as well.
Absolutely. However, it's not a crazy notion to start the season 2 months ago, right? 2 months ago, you start the season, and things change throughout the course of 2 months to where you look at it and say, it makes sense to make adjustments as we know more about our team, as injuries come out. Like, we know more about this team than we did 2 months ago. We know they can't generate a pass rush with the top 4 guys. And we know that something like that can keep you from winning the Super Bowl. So I think the whole idea of like, we just don't do anything because that's just not who we are, it seems like too rigid of an approach, because you just learn things over the course of the season, and it just seems logical to address them as the season comes on.
800-990-3776 on Twitter at KBN ESPN. Does it bother you the way the Packers approach the trade deadline? Alex Strofe, our producer, is putting that up on the Twitter X sphere. Lost in too much political stuff, probably. But find it at KBN ESPN. Josh in Kenosha, 800-990-3776. You're up on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Hey, guys. How's it going? This is coming from a Bears fan. I've watched the Packers my whole life, and it's almost like they have a small market mindset. They're afraid to go out and make those big moves. And quite frankly, giving Love that contract after half a season of good play, kind of a risky move. You can't really fill out the rest of your roster like you need to.
Oh, man, you've done a good job
championships.
evaluating quarterbacks too, man. I know you've seen a lot of great ones down in Chicago, haven't you?
Hey, I know bad ones when I see them. That's for sure.
That's good self-awareness, Josh.
That is a good response.
That is good self-awareness. We appreciate the call. Again, the jury on the Jordan Love conversation, he's not bad. He just has not played up to the second half of last year. He has a lot of things that he has to clean up in terms of decision-making, but by no means in a year and a half of him starting. I know he's been in the NFL for longer. Should you be giving up on what his potential is as the franchise quarterback for the Green Bay Packers? Can you be frustrated? Do things have to change from his play for them to be more successful this year? Yes, but long-term, I still don't know why people question it to the degree that they do. I like this question from Andrew. Andrew, you're up on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, 800-990-3776.
Hey, thought it was a smart move moving on from Preston, Books, and all that. My question, as we got Chicago or going to Chicago in 2 weeks, who steps up, Van Ness or Enigbari?
I like Enigbari. I like Enigbari and Mosby, man. Like, I'll hand in the air. Didn't know who he was before last game, but he was in the backfield for Detroit with their great offensive line more times than any other Packer player that I could see. So I think Enagbare has a little bit of. He's got some speed. I think his moves are a little bit cleaner. Van Ness, he seems like a hulkish type of individual, but I'm not sure that there's a lot of clean execution of pass rush moves. So, I'm okay and I'm good with the Preston Smith move.
Yeah, I'm good.
I just don't know. You must either have a lot of belief in those other guys beneath them, and I just still can't believe that there wasn't a greater effort to improve that area or other areas of the team.
I mean, still 30 minutes left, but I'm right there with you. I think, yes, I believe that Enagbare will make the bigger impact. But right now, the clock needs to be ticking on Lucas Van Ness and the defensive line coach and Jeff Hafley to make sure they get the most out of Lucas Van Ness, right? At this point, we are halfway through the second season. Well, they
literally just made a move to give him opportunities.
And so now it's time to really show up and show out for him because this is his position to lose. This is his snaps count to lose. This is all on him. And also for Goody, he needs to make sure these guys are making sure that he's playing to his full potential because this is on Lucas Van Ness in order to improve and make an impact because if he doesn't, going into year 3 is going to be make or break.
On Twitter at KBN ESPN, does it bother you how the Packers approach the trade deadline? 65% of people say yes. Obviously 35 for the math majors already know this, say no. And on the text line, Rip and Rona chimes in.
Do you really need a math major to know 65 plus 35 equals 100?
It was kind of like a sarcastic joke that didn't land, so you could have just let me keep going. Instead, you did the record scratch, but I don't blame you for it either. That being said, Rip and Rona chimes in, Strophy. I so badly want them to make a huge trade to hear the breaking news chime in the next 30 minutes from Strophe.
I'm just playing it to tell you what it sounds like.
No, breaking news is the homer. Oh, baby! But don't play that one because that I only want to hear if they make a trade. What are the odds? Minus 10,000 right now. They make a significant trade worth of breaking
plus
news.
Plus 10,000.
No. Yes, plus 10,000. Thank you. Losing my mind. Mark Tauscher, Packer Hall of Famer. I want to see if he subscribes to the Kyle, hey, it is what it is, or if he'd like to see them be more aggressive at the trade deadline. That's Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher joining us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. But first, I need Kyle to tell us how he's been winning some money.
Yes. It's time to talk about Underdog Fantasy. And if you haven't started playing yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. This is a perfect time to download the Underdog Fantasy Sports app right now. Yes, right now, or go to UnderdogFantasySports.com. That's UnderdogFantasySports.com for your chance to get in the game with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. And it's so easy to play. All you have to do is select multiple players from different teams. You just like higher or lower on their stats. So whether or not it's higher than a certain amount of points scored, higher amount of certain amount of three-pointers, higher amount a certain amount of assists that somebody has in the game, higher amount of touchdowns, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Yes, I did not get that wrong. You could win up to 1,000 times your money by playing the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. And just because I love y'all, KBN Nation, when you sign up using promo code KBN, yes, that's promo code KBN, you can get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly using promo code KBN. Bonus cash instantly. 1,000 buckaroos in your Underdog Fantasy Sports app today. So make sure you sign up using promo code KBN and get in on the fun on the Underdog Fantasy Sports app today. You must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerns your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher joins us next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
If I was as tall and as talented as you, if I could shoot as well as you could, both them teams would have won. Because you know what? You did a fake punch, you said, in the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
And I would have did fake point. I would have took it to the house. I would have scored a dang touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Anyway, let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 14.1 to 33.5-ounce selected varieties Culinary Circle pizza, $4.99. Gallon selected varieties Prairie Farms white or chocolate milk, $3.99. 8 to 16.5-ounce selected varieties Hostess multi-packs, $2.99.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Try this. Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by January 8th.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home to a generator to keep your lights on or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Get ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the 300K season finale giveaway at Potawatomi. Friday, December 20th, watch your entries from Bird Bash, Cash Clash, and Winter Stash. All pile into one massive drawing for a chance at up to 50 grand cash. Be there to win your share. December 20th, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/finale. Must be 21 years old to play.
Winter weather is on the way, and that means salt, snow, and grime on your car. ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here. Now is the time to protect your vehicle with a premium wash at Tsunami Express Car Wash. State-of-the-art technology, powerful free vacuums, and unlimited wash memberships. Keep your car looking spotless all season long. Tsunami Express has 5 convenient locations all across greater Milwaukee, making it easy to give your ride the care it deserves. Sign up for a membership at TsunamiExpress.com and get your first wash free. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Joining us now on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin is the Packers Hall of Famer, which you can listen to across ESPN Wisconsin from 9 to noon across these various stations on Wilde and Tausch. There's 23 minutes left that is still unwritten of the trade deadline, and we welcome in Mark Tauscher to discuss that. How are you, Tauscher?
I'm doing good, Benny. How are you?
You know, I'm falling victim to knowing that nothing would likely happen in terms of big significance of the Green Bay Packers at the trade deadline.
Well, what are you talking about? They just traded a guy that has been with the team 7 years.
Oh, come on. I know they traded Preston. His snap count was going down. It opens up opportunities for Van Ness and Ekbare and Mosby and others, but like that's not a significant move where it tells the locker room, hey, like we're really bringing something in to show you guys we believe that you can go make a long, big run.
Yeah, all right. I won't argue with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, do you have any issues with the way that the Packers approach the trade deadline, or are you in lockstep with Goody?
I think this year, what do you want them to go do?
I mean, trade for a cornerback, trade for an edge rusher. Like, it's at some point, right? Like, I think we overvalue some draft picks. It's obviously revisionist history.
Okay, Benny. Well, first off, I want to see more Lucas Van Ness. I want to see more Ekbare. So, do I think that they should go out and pick up a a good corner if they're available, but at what price? And then how is that going to filter down? How is Jair going to be back after the bye and ready to play, or is he going to miss a bunch of time? I mean, I got 100 questions that I don't know the answers to, but do I think this roster as currently constituted is good enough? I do. I think they are also banking on the things that fans don't really look at, and that is the development and what they see and what they think is possible moving forward. So the idea, and this is where I think everybody goes crazy. And Benny, I remember a couple years ago, you were all on the get Chase Claypool. They need a wideout.
Wow. Oh, come on.
Well, you did.
Now we're legitimately making stuff up.
No, I did. I remember you, and it was on the Scalzo and Brush show, and you're like, "Oh, they need a wideout, Claypool."
Then,
you know what? The Bears do it.
No, because this is amazing. You guys got ammo, and so now you're running with it.
Here's the deal, and I think this is the thing. A lot of people get caught up in this. That you want a name. Well, you know what Goody is not going to do? He'll go get a 25-year-old, or he's not going to go get a 32-year-old dude on the wrong side of 30 that is expensive, and you got to pay to get. It's just he's not going to do that. So. If you ask, do I think that they need to do that? No, they don't. Do I love when they go get, if there's this Newsom, and there's all kinds of Jaden Reed's googly eyeing and all this other stuff. All right, he is a fourth-year player. So if you're going to get a guy, get somebody that's in that elevator era where their physical and mental, is going to be peak performance the next 4 or 5 years. Great, go do that. But if your team is banking on that, without a big injury like what Detroit had, I think you're building things the wrong way.
Tausch, don't you think that all the contenders, particularly in the NFC, but you could include the AFC too, they all take stabs and they all they look at their team, they evaluate, and they said, these are the areas that we need to improve if we're going to make a Super Bowl run this year. And when they do that, it feels like they take a collective step forward, and the Packers just stay where they are. So relatively speaking, the Packers get worse compared to the other contenders for the Super Bowl that year. Don't you think that contributes to the fact that the Packers are always the team that makes the playoff but never is the belle of the ball?
I think you can make that argument. If you want to prove that point, just talk about Odell Beckham. That would be the one time. I know I was in the camp of let's get him in here, and he ended up going to the Rams. And I think in Goody's defense, or whoever was, I think it was Goody, he pushed to get him. And Odell Beckham Jr., and I think it was at that point, who was he with? Was it the Giants or the Browns? I think it was the Browns. They let him make the pick, and he picked the Rams over what, Green Bay put a hardcore press on. So I like the idea of being in these conversations and thinking about it. But again, I'm not interested in picking up a bunch of 30-plus-year-old dudes to make some big last push. Now, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule, but no, I don't know how many times you could look at it and say, well, this guy is Nuke going to be the guy that puts the Kansas City Chiefs over the top? He's going to help them, but that's not going to be the determining factor that they're going to win a champ. They're 6-0 without it. That's, I guess the thing is, I like sprinkling and going and taking some low price, low stabs, but that's not going to be the difference. Is Marshawn Lattimore going to win the Washington Commanders a championship this year?
Nope.
I don't think so, but they do, and that's great. But I just don't think that's how you sustain great success. That's how you take big stabs, and occasionally that works. And if you want to say the Packers haven't done that enough, I think that's a fair criticism.
Yeah, I guess I could just continue to hear, like, hey, we just really could use that game wrecker. How are you going to find that game wrecker? It doesn't have to be today, but it's usually not through free agency, and they usually don't end up in a spot where they're hitting on a draft pick or have a low enough.
Whoa.
I'm talking up front. Because you need a really good front four to rush the passer to be successful long-term in the playoffs.
Whose front four is better right now, Detroit's or Green Bay's?
The Packers' front four is struggling, Tausch. Come on now.
They have to literally.
No, I'm asking whose front four is better right now, Detroit or Green Bay's?
I mean, you can make an argument just because they brought Zadarius Smith that it's just a slight edge. But yeah, I mean, look, Hafley's done a good job of either bringing four with different looks or bringing five. But I've had this conversation with you and Balaga and many others. At some point, you need to get home with four. and this team won't be able to be successful long term if they can't. Now, if this is a thing where they're not looking at a Super Bowl and they want to see Van Ness and Mosby.
Yeah, so Brad, you just said that, and I'm not going to argue that the front four, when it's just been those four rushing, it's been great. No, I'm not going to argue that fight, but who is out there? I don't want to bring Zadarius Smith in. I think Detroit didn't want to do that. They were forced to. Mm-hmm. Zadarius Smith's been here, and his last season here wasn't great. He's got a couple of sacks with Cleveland, but that's great. I want to see, and I want to see if a Lucas Van Ness is going to – I think Kings Landing-Barry has been really good. He's making plays. You have to give guys opportunities. You can't just say – well, because these guys, they haven't been able to give themselves a chance to prove that they're a name. If you go out and get some old dude and bring him in, Kingsley Enikbare can't become who he hopes to be. Or that's always the battle line that you have. And if you don't believe in your guys, then you don't have them on the team.
Well,
you guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
No, totally.
And Tauscher, I don't want to take Kyle's question or whatever, but do you think?
But I will.
Goody, do you think Goody even made the calls? Like that's what I just wonder. Like, because you're right. Who's out there? Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know what a realistic trade would look like. But do you think Goody is even, doing like real hardcore due diligence to try to do that, or you think he's the kind of guy that says, "Look, I know our roster. I'm not even interested in entertaining trades."
I think he likes, and you can say he's wrong, I think he likes his young talent up front. I do think he's dabbling around trying to find a DB because I don't know how much he trusts Jair being available, and I think he is not a fan of where Stokes is at in his development. So I do think he is snooped around and is trying to find another guy that can fit back there. And I think if you had to give him some truth serum, I think looking back, last year when they got rid of Rasul Douglas, they didn't think they were going to do a lot. And when that came, they would love to have him on this roster right now. If they could trade a fourth-round pick to get him back from Buffalo, I think they'd take that in a heartbeat.
Talking with Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher here on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
I mean, Tauscher, obviously you're not really interested in the Green Bay Packers trading or making a move for anybody, but what do you think the Packers need to do in order to solidify their championship?
He didn't say that.
I mean,
you basically said that you believe that the team has enough in order to win a championship. Now they don't need.
I do, but I also on our show this morning, I'm all in on trying to get this. If Goody and they believe that Newsom can come in and be better than Stokes, I want him.
Okay. So I should say you're content. We're both in the same. We're in the same area. We're both content with them not making moves. We want them to make moves, but we're content with that. But I want to know what you think the Packers, because assuming they won't make a move here in the next 13 minutes, what do the Packers need to do in order to solidify their championship aspirations? Then.
Well, I think those guys that we just discussed. I think we need to see more from Van Ness. I think we need to see a big lift from Rashawn Gary, and I think Devontae Wyatt needs to get healthy and back rushing. We need to see more from that group. But outside of that, obviously, Jordan Love's decision-making has to be better. I don't think there's like some magic pill. Well, we need this. We need this. I think the talent is there. Now, is it there to win a Super Bowl this year? I don't know. It's been way too sloppy, and it's been a young team that has not grown up quick enough. So can that happen? We saw great strides last year from about this time until the middle of January. Can we see that again? I would expect that we will. And you have a schedule that allows you to, I think, have some wins and get some confidence going. But there's not going to be like the guys have to be more consistent, and you have to clean up what the sloppy penalties and the mistakes that we're making are what are getting us beat against good teams.
Yep.
We're beating average teams even with the mistakes that we're making. That's a good sign. But if you want to be great, you have to wipe this stuff out. And the only way to do that is go out and play. I don't think it's to bring in 10 veterans and say, well, we need this. Now, if you want to bring in one and say maybe that can help that growth process quicken, all right, I'm game for that, but it better be at a very cheap price.
Tauscher, quick change up before we let you go, because you're my pseudo NBA guy and Bucks extraordinaire in your own right. The Bucks with the 1-6 start, just out of ESPN. Chris Middleton is still out indefinitely, has not been cleared for 5-on-5, and they have recognized as team officials this is taking much longer than they anticipated. Panic button time, or what's going on in your mind?
Yeah, it's definitely panic button. I think we're looking at this. You have a old team. You didn't really get more athletic, and whether or not you have to start playing some of your young guys. You know, the days of Connaughton and Portis playing a lot of minutes, I think has to start. You have to start looking at how can we get more athletic on the wings? How can we do more than what we're getting right now? Because
Horst needs a little Goody in him.
Giannis, I think Horst has been the anti-Gootenite.
That's what I'm saying. He needs some Goody in him. He needs to get some youth.
Oh, yeah. I think you have to let some of your young talent develop, and if that's not the case, I mean, it's a tough watch right now. And I know they competed hard and have had good looks at beating a good Cleveland team the last couple outings, but is it 1-6 or 1-7?
1-6.
Yeah, I mean, it's time to hit the panic button, and that doesn't mean bust up the roster. It means get your blank together.
There it is.
1-6. If you're 2-12, you're on this trend. It ain't good. I'm not
Lottery
a math
pick.
guy, but that doesn't seem good.
Yeah, if the Bucks are 2-12, I'm calling it a quits on the season.
What about your season tickets?
They would drastically go down in value. Resale value would go down the toilet.
Thanks, LT.
I need to make a call.
All right, see you guys.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the end of this segment is realizing your season tickets are not going to be what you thought they would be.
Maybe
They're hot right now.
Maybe it's your last chance to see Giannis. How about that?
Okay, now we trip.
Oh, this sound like some White Sox stuff. How they all came to the last game of the season at home to try and see them break the record of losing.
Oh gosh.
We're back in just quite some time here. It hit the record scratch. Don't go anywhere. Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust is coming up at 3 o'clock.
Woo!
Mark Tauscher on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman is brought to you by Fleet Farm. Remember, if Fleet Farm doesn't have it, then you don't need it. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be. I think his legs... Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry Are you guys being serious? You guys can't put two. I got it. I did not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish turnover.
Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you too, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
At IKEA, they love their customers. And from November 8th through the 11th, celebrate IKEA's Fall Customer Appreciation Days with exclusive deals, discounts, and giveaways. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Ben Brust. IKEA family members save 15% on in-store purchases of $150 or more and enjoy bonus discounts on select products. Plus, be one of the first 200 IKEA family members at IKEA Oak Creek this Saturday to receive a mystery gift card worth up to $500. Don't miss out on IKEA's Fall Customer Appreciation Days, happening this weekend at IKEA Oak Creek.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Wallace. Right now at Universal Windows Direct, get 0% financing for 60 months, restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Thanksgiving's only a few weeks away, and Fleet Farm's got just what you need to prep for family and friends. For you turkey smokers, Griller's Gold barbecue pellets are just $5.99 a bag. And you can never have enough Fleet Farm mixed nuts. 2-pound bags are on sale for $12.99. Wash it all down with Bubbler's sparkling water. Now just $11 for 2 6-packs. The holidays will be here before you know it. So stock up now on everything you need at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Experience elite orthopedic care at OAW. Their skilled teams in Pewaukee, Brookfield, and Mukwonago offer tailored treatment for your needs.
The Bucks' losing streak has hit 6 games following a 116-114 road loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Milwaukee was without Giannis, who sat out with a strained abductor muscle. Despite a tough start to the season, head coach Doc Rivers says his team is staying positive.
I think the team's very positive. I think they're upbeat. No one wants to lose. We got some tough games coming up, but one win at a time. We win 3 or 4 in a row, and then the numbers say if you're 5-6 out there, you have an 80% chance to make the playoffs. That's where numbers are so silly sometimes, especially early in the year.
The 1-6 Bucks back home at Fiserv Forum Thursday night to face the Utah Jazz. Tip-off is at 7.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Book your appointment today at orthowisconsin.com.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Gary Ellison here from my friends at Best Electric Service, an A-plus Better Business Bureau family-owned and operated who have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's making electrical panel upgrades, home electrical safety inspections, electrical vehicle charging, and all residential service calls. Best Electric provides quality services at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Service. Find out more at bestelect.com.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Strofe, you got me excited. For some reason, the beginning of that song sounded like the This Is Our Colts. One of our favorite things, the Cult superfan who makes songs. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I do know what you're talking about. But I don't think Cage the Elephant sounds a whole heck of a lot like Johnny in Indianapolis.
That's fair. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. We are Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Hang out with you, KBN Nation. You can get into the show at 800-990-3776, and we see and love all of the interaction and comments on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. I'm going to have Strophy be the YouTube monitoring guy because it's going a little too fast for me to keep up with. Sound good? You can do that job?
Boy, I had so many things I wanted to say.
Why?
Just nothing.
You can't do that and not say it.
No,
it's a tease,
What do you get?
Kyle.
Nah, it wasn't. It was inappropriate.
Oh,
everyone loves that. So I really liked Tauscher's perspective because it wasn't that he was anti.
He set you straight, boy. He had him red, didn't he?
No,
he had him red.
So the classic, when Tausch doesn't like the direction of the conversation, he will do something that is so witty. He will put a nugget out there that may or may not be true. Like, it could have been talked about. He doesn't know if it's true or not true, but just to deflect onto that person and be like, weren't you that guy who wanted Chase Claypool, right?
Were you?
No! Did we all probably discuss, like, the Bears trading him for a second rounder and make fun of them? Absolutely. Right?
But they traded a second rounder?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the worst trade of all time. I'm pretty sure it was a second rounder.
Second rounder.
Oof, boy, they're dumb.
Yeah,
they got fleeced.
Only people dumber than them is the Panthers.
Hey. That is true. For those who don't know, our guy Brad Nortman punted in Super Bowl 50.
Not my regime.
And Kyle Wallace is just a guy.
Just a guy who loves talking sports with you, KBN Nation. Go Pack, go, baby.
Who's a sheep.
Nah, not quite a sheep. I'm just accept the reality of what the situation is. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to.
And you're content with it.
I have to
with Goody's process.
So I don't think y'all understand. A young Kyle Wallace was I probably really got into video games. Honestly, the first time, probably 4 years old.
Good.
4 years old. Madden 92 on Sega Genesis. I've been playing. I've been playing video games for a very, very, very long time.
Cool.
And there's something called franchise mode that I've probably been doing since I was probably 6 years old. So in franchise mode, you can be the general manager. You can make trades. So to imagine a young kid who wants the Green Bay Packers to always make that move and make that trade, since I'm 34 years old now. So for 28 plus years, I've been wanting the Packers to do something special, do something that's a championship move.
There's a scar here, Brad.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, Kyle, what kind of GM were you?
Oh, come on now.
You chop it up?
Championship, baby.
You sell everyone?
Rookie mode.
Yeah, you just...
No way. No way. I used to destroy kids back in the day. I used to make kids cry back playing video games. Stop playing with me.
Oh, you used to talk trash to little kids?
No, kids my age. I didn't talk trash. Okay. I just handled business.
Strofe, what's the record for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
Do you just want me to say it? Or do you actually not know?
I don't know it. Am I 25, 23, and 6?
You're close. 24, 22, and 6.
24, 22, and 6. So the way this game works is we get caller number 10 on the line, 800-990-3776. And you will get 15 questions in 90 seconds in Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? I am on a hot streak. I've won 2 in a row. It was 22, 22, and 6. Now it's 24, 22, and 6, and nobody likes to see me win. So if you're smart and you want to be caller number 10 and beat me and win a $25 gift card, it's 800-990-3776. Again, 15 questions in 90 seconds. You're allowed to skip or pass. And if you beat me or tie, you will win a $25 gift card. 800-990-3776. A lot to get to, but first in 2 minutes, it's Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Anyway, let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 14.1 to 33.5-ounce selected varieties Culinary Circle pizza, $4.99. Gallon selected varieties Prairie Farms white or chocolate milk, $3.99. 8 to 16.5-ounce selected varieties Hostess multi-packs, $2.99.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Try this. Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by January 8th.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
What a day, what a day. There's a lot going on today at KBN Nation. I'm Brad Nortman, Kyle Wallace right in front of me. Alex Strofe, the maestro of Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, presented by Lakeland University. But a lot going on today. We got NFL trade deadline, college football playoffs, first rankings, of course, election day. And because it's election day, Alex Strofe, he cooked. I'm not going to lie, he cooked once again. We've got a special edition, an election edition of Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
That's a good idea.
So all you...
Thanks, Kyle.
All you U.S. government aficionados, you're going to enjoy this one. And we're going to enjoy Ben Brust's struggle with this one. And today, we've got Dorf in Cottage Grove. Now, Dorf, how are you with U.S. government questions?
We're going to find out. Hopefully I'm okay, but we're going to find out.
We're going to find out, and all you got to do is be better than Ben Brust, who is 24, 22, and 6. We're trying to get him back to 500, and Dorf in Cottage Grove is going to be the first one to get him back that way. Let's spin its trophy.
For those of you who say Ben Brust is an idiot, here's your chance to be proven right. It's time to play Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
Oh boy, Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? Presented by Lakeland University. Here's how we play. 15 questions in 90 seconds to get as many answers correct as you can. You're allowed to say pass, and we will come back to it if you get through the rest. If you beat or tie, but we prefer beat, Ben Brust, you will win a $25 gift card. Dorf, any questions?
Nope, I'm all set.
All right, let's get it rolling in 3, 2, 1. How many electoral votes does the state of Wisconsin have?
Pass.
What are the 3 branches of the U.S. government?
The executive, the legislative, and the judicial.
Which president served the shortest term in office?
Pass.
Which president served the longest time?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Who is the only president to have resigned from office?
Richard Milhouse Nixon.
Which president signed the Emancipation Proclamation?
Abraham Lincoln.
Who is the oldest president to be inaugurated?
Joe Biden.
How long is a U.S. senator's term?
6 years.
What is the job title of the presiding officer of the U.S. House of Representatives?
Speaker of the House.
Which amendment of the Constitution gave women the right to vote?
The 22nd.
Which term describes a president's power to reject a bill?
Veto.
How many total votes are in the Electoral College?
539.
How many articles are there in the U.S. Constitution?
10.
Who is the first vice president to assume the presidency due to death?
LBJ.
Who was the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms? Only president to serve.
Grover Cleveland.
Boy,
Grover.
Dorf cooked. He cooked.
Ben doesn't stand a chance. Ben about to get
Ben lost.
He
He doesn't even need to participate. Obviously, he's going to. He doesn't need to.
It's over.
That's a 9 spot.
A 9 spot.
And he got through all 15.
Ooh,
the last one was William McKinley.
No,
it's Grover Cleveland.
Oh, was?
Yeah,
you got it right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Man, confident answers too from Dorf.
Yeah, I thought he was cooked, but no.
Yeah, he got 7 in a row at one point.
He did.
Yeah, he got
I was
7
like,
in a row
okay.
at one point.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
So we just tell Ben there's no reason to compete.
No, because actually, let's trick him and be like, oh, you got it today.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben.
Well, we knew it was going to be a doozy, but all cards on the table. This is supposed to be a surprise that it was going to be like U.S. government related and presidential related, but it gets spilled the beans in pre-show. So Ben's been prepared for this. So,
I am not prepared for this, though.
Well,
you might sound prepared given what we just had to go through.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, I hope you know your politics and policies.
Yeah. It's Are You
You
Smarter?
know me.
Yeah. It is Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, presented by Lakeland University. 15 questions in 90 seconds. Get as many answers correct as you can. You're allowed to say pass, and we'll come back to it if you get through the rest. If you lose to Dorf in Cottage Grove, he's going to win a $25 gift card. Ben, any
Bring it
questions?
on, Dorf.
Any questions before you take on Dorf?
Well, like I said, bring it on, Dorf.
All right, here we go. Let's get it going in 3, 2, 1. How many electoral votes does the state of Wisconsin have?
Ooh, it's a good question. 24?
Jesus. What are the 3 branches of U.S. government?
Legislative, judicial. Pass!
Which president served the shortest term in office?
One of the Kennedys.
Which president served the longest term?
Woodrow Wilson.
Oh, wow.
Who is the only president to have resigned from office?
Bill?
Oh, wow.
Which president signed the Emancipation Proclamation?
My man Lincoln.
Who is the oldest president to be inaugurated?
Biden?
How long is the U.S. senator's term?
2 years.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
What is the job title of the presiding officer of the U.S. House of Representatives?
The providing officer.
Yeah, presiding.
Speaker of the House?
Which amendment of the Constitution gave women the right to vote?
Ah, crap. 16?
Oof.
What
19. 19.
What term describes the president's power to reject a bill?
Say that again.
What term describes the president's
Vetoed.
power? How many votes are there in the Electoral College? Total votes.
520?
How many articles are there in the U.S. Constitution?
24.
Who was the first vice president to assume the presidency due to death?
John Adams?
I lost?
You got smoked.
Dorf's a dork?
Dorf was unbelievable.
Dorf's a politician dork?
Dorf got a 9 spot. You only got 5, which is more than I anticipated he would get.
Yeah, I was actually impressed with the 5 spot. I told Kyle beforehand, I think a 5 will win it. And actually did the first 10 questions of Kyle, and he got 9 to 10.
Powerful.
Kyle was killing it.
Yeah, but
killing it.
But he's not playing. And it was in the casual, comfortable realm of the commercial break.
Yeah, it was
not with
pretty
the ticker.
Good job, though. You did a good job kind of getting some.
It's not embarrassing.
Kind of getting some.
It's not embarrassing. I mean, some of the answers were a little bit embarrassing. But,
I mean, we should probably be better at civics.
Yeah.
I did my civic duty the other day. Go me.
Good for you.
I don't know if we want that after some of your answers today.
Hey! Did my research.
Well, give him another chance at question 1.
How many electoral votes does the state of Wisconsin have?
10?
Wow!
10. There you go.
Good job.
Was that a guess, or did it just hit later?
It's still a guess, but I knew I went way too rich on the 24 thing.
Yeah, you overshot that significantly.
Why do we care so much about our 10 swing state electoral?
Because it's important.
I'm joking. Go over to 620 WTMJ.
Well, Ben's record is now 24, 23, and 6, so one above 500. Let's get into the answers. Ben is correct, and Dorf was too. How many electoral votes does the state of Wisconsin have? 10. What are the branches? You're going to kick yourself for this one. What are the 3 branches of the U.S. government? Legislative, executive, judicial. I don't know which one you missed.
He missed
Executive.
Who's the executive right now?
Joe Biden?
Oh, okay. Just making sure you understood.
Who served the shortest term in office? A little bit of a wild answer here. One of the Kennedys. Is that an assassination?
Well, one of them was assassinated, so.
One of them. How many Kennedys did we have?
I don't know.
Well, they were both assassinated. Only one in presidency.
This guy, the answer, was literally in office a month because he died. Not assassinated, though.
I got to say, I didn't even know who this guy was. William Henry Harrison.
Yes,
I've heard of William Henry.
Okay, well,
three first names.
His
William
vice
Henry
president
Harrison.
comes up later in the questions.
Which president served the longest term? FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, for all the KBN
Did you
fans
get this
that
right?
called me out last time.
What did he say? You said pass.
Yeah.
No, he didn't pass. I didn't circle it. Who did you say?
What was the question?
Who president that served the longest term?
Oh,
Woodrow Wilson.
He said Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson.
I mean, that's
just
not a
shot
bad.
in the dark.
It's not a bad. Yes.
This one made me laugh. The only president to have resigned from office, and he said Bill. Or Bill Clinton. Richard Nixon.
You forgot about Nixon, huh?
Watergate.
But the Bill Clinton one made me laugh.
Yeah, Watergate.
Who signed?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Bill Clinton probably should have resigned. Boy, oh, boy.
Probably should have.
He loves interns.
Oh, okay, we march on. Which president? Great segue. Which president signed the
Is it a great segue?
Yeah, I mean the Emancipation Proclamation. Abraham Lincoln, oldest president to be inaugurated. Joe Biden. How long is a U.S. senator's term? 6 years. 6 years.
2 is the House, Ben.
Okay, don't talk down to me.
That was pretty condescending, Kyle.
No, I'm trying to educate him. This is actually a 5th grade question.
This is, some of this was probably 5th grade. What is the job title of the presiding officer of the U.S. House of Representatives? Speaker of the House. You ended up getting that one right.
Good.
Which amendment, this one's pretty tough. Which amendment gave the Constitution, gave the women the right to vote? You ended up getting that right, 19.
19.
You said 16, changed to 19. Yeah. What term describes the presidential's power to reject a bill, that is veto? How many total votes in the Electoral College?
Is it 535?
538.
Damn.
538.
Dummy.
Yeah.
Guys, I would like to make, speaking of executive, I would like to make an executive decision. Ben, I will award you 5 points and a victory today if you can correctly tell me about Watergate.
Watergate. Does it have something to do with the dam?
Don't tell him.
Does it have something to do with the dam?
This is your floor.
Yeah.
Does it have something to do with the dam?
Just run with whatever you
what do
think,
you
Mike.
think it is?
Watergate.
Somebody probably said, use the word damn.
Is this something to do with Vietnam?
Oh, boy.
All right, here's the answer to both of those questions. No and no.
All right, well, I'm not going to get it.
Do you want us to tell you?
I'm going to do my own
Or
research.
do you want to save it for next week's questions?
What? So when Miss O'Kelly was teaching you, were you not just comprehending any of it?
Wait, was she a history teacher?
No, she's my third grade teacher.
But so she taught history.
50 minutes of it, probably.
What were you doing during history class? How could you not?
I was good at history.
No,
Excuse me.
Watergate's a pretty big deal.
I got a B in U.S. history at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Oh, you just delegitimized?
Yeah,
there you go.
Wisconsin's history class because you have no idea what Watergate is. How the hell did you get a B?
Because
in U.S. history.
What I'm really good at is studying last second, getting it on the test, and then just releasing it from my brain forever.
Just right to the
long story
trash
short, it had
folder.
to do with his re-election campaign. Somebody broke into the Watergate office building, or several people broke into the Watergate office
Is it Watergate
building.
Hotel?
Yeah, I think it's hotel. Regardless,
Either way,
dummy.
It was called Watergate.
It was
the
a big
building.
scandal, boy.
Spying on
both a hotel and an office building.
Oh wow, was it really? How about that?
There you go.
We're all learning something. Okay. How many articles are there in the U.S. Constitution? 7 articles. Who was the first vice president to? You didn't. Oh no. Okay. You got to this one, not the last one. Who was the first vice president to assume the presidency due to death? John Tyler.
That's because William Henry Harrison died. Yes.
And who was the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms? Grover Cleveland. Are you smarter than Ben Brust?
Congratulations to Dork. He wins
Hey, it's
it.
Dorf. Respect the victor.
Shout out to those dams involved in Watergate.
Yeah.
All those dams.
What was
Beaver
the
Dam
thought process
included,
on the
yeah.
dams?
Water.
Oh, and a gate?
Yeah.
Basically, that
Watergate.
is a dam. A dam is a type of water gate.
Compound word.
Nailed it.
That's what we call context clues.
I love Ben.
Thank you. I love you too.
Oh, we all love
and you can
that.
tell people about Underdog Fantasy.
Again?
Yeah.
I love to.
This is good today.
My throat is all messed up here from laughing at Ben, but let me tell y'all about Underdog Fantasy Sports today. I told y'all once, but let me tell you twice because twice is nice. I'm going to keep it real funky, fresh, and simple for y'all. What I want you to do right now is I want you to download the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. Yes, go download the Underdog Fantasy Sports app or go to UnderdogFantasySports.com so you can get in the game today. And why I say that is it makes watching all your sporting events so much better. You're more into it. And how it works is you select players from multiple teams. You select higher or lower on those players' stats. And if your picks hit KBN Nation, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Yes, you can turn your $10 into $500 by playing the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. And because I love y'all, I also want you to know when you go to UnderdogFantasy.com or you go to the Underdog Fantasy Sports app, you know what you can do? Sign up using promo code KBN. That's promo code KBN and deposit now to get $1,000. Yes, up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly while using promo code KBN. Thank me now or thank me later, but at the end of the day, you're thanking me because I told you about the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. Use promo code KBN. And remember, it must be 18 plus on President's Day where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply, concern your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
The trade deadline has come and gone in the NFL. Packers moved Preston Smith. Is that enough for you? I'm still not satisfied. We'll get your reaction, 800-990-3776, because I just hate the way they go about the trade deadline here in Green Bay. Next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
You throw hands?
Do I throw hands?
With T.O.
Will I? I throw hands with Andre the Giant, man.
I love you, Lou. That's Lewis from the north side. The north side always knows.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We are looking at a little bit of a delay right now on westbound 94 from about 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. On southbound 43, a little bit tight from Hampton to Capitol, and then again right through the Marquette interchange and on to 4394 southbound from just north of Beecher all the way down to the KK River crossing is where you're seeing those delays. And the southbound 41 from Appleton Avenue down to Capitol Drive. And also, Capitol Drive closed in both directions right about at Highway 164. There's a crash there, and so they've closed off both directions of Capitol Drive for this. You're going to need to find an alternate route. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, breezy, cooler, mostly cloudy, low of 46. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 55. Weather is brought to you by the Corners of Brookfield. Head to the Corners for all of your gifting needs and find something for everyone at their 30-plus restaurants and retailers. TheCornersOfBrookfield.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash game show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Thanksgiving's only a few weeks away, and Fleet Farm's got just what you need to prep for family and friends. For you turkey smokers, Griller's Gold barbecue pellets are just $5.99 a bag. And you can never have enough Fleet Farm mixed nuts. 2-pound bags are on sale for $12.99. Wash it all down with Bubbler's sparkling water. Now just $11 for 2 6-packs. The holidays will be here before you know it. So stock up now on everything you need at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at kesslersdiamonds.com.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. It's from Benny Brust.
So maybe my, I don't want to say anger. I'd say more, how would you describe my feelings towards the Packers and the trade deadline?
Frustrated.
Frustration.
Yeah, frustrated.
Is a great
So,
term.
I went to Potawatomi Casino Hotel in their sports book. I did place a nice future on the Green Bay Packers to win the Super Bowl. I did come into the show after the Cardinals game, and I said, hey, I saw them put together a full game. I'm starting to believe, right? And I came with beads because in 1996, when the Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl, it was in NOLA, New Orleans. And this year, it is in New Orleans as well. So what I did is I put out that I would send beads to anybody listening if you texted your address to 800-990-3776. We wrote a letter. We all signed the letters. And I went to the post office. And I had them weigh the letter. So the letter included a white envelope, 3 pairs of beads I got off of Amazon, purple for New Orleans, then green and gold for the Packers. And I put the beads inside the letter, I put it in the white envelope, and I had the person at the post office help me. She said I needed 2 stamps and a penny stamp in order to have them shipped out. So people are starting to receive the beads. But unfortunately, this is the third instance now. We had, let's see here, Dwayne in Sheboygan chimed in. I just got a letter, and it's from Ben Brust. $3.78 postage due when they received my letter.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Dawn says the same thing. Dawn says she received the letter, but she had to pay $3.78 to get the letter.
Well, there's no return address. So obviously the bill is on the receiver. So you said
I paid like $70 to get these things shipped out. Why is it another it's a letter with beads.
The mail costs more than the actual package of beads.
1,000%. And Dwayne in Sheboygan is chiming in right now, 800-990-3776. And we have him on the line. Dwayne, did you have a discussion with the mailman?
No, I just said I know what this is, and it's just like a one set of beads, like Mardi Gras beads for the Super Bowl hopeful Packer trip, and the stamps were all on it. It looked like the correct postage, but yeah, $3.78 more. I didn't have the cash on me, so I just said, "Can you come back tomorrow? I'll have this $4 for you."
So the postman literally came to your door and said, "You need to pay for this."
That's correct.
Oh my gosh!
Are you mad at me? Because I swear this was not the intent.
Well, no, I'm a little bit. At least I didn't fall for the $100 for Vegas.
That's me. You're smarter than me. I'll be very frustrated.
Okay, well, Stevie chimes in 800-990-3776. It was cut open and the beads were gone.
Oh, what? No!
People are stealing my beads in the mail. Isn't that a federal offense?
Wow.
Okay, Ben. The thing is with Dwayne on the line. How are you going to make this right?
Yeah, I don't want to promise something.
No, Dwayne, what's your Venmo?
I tried this on air. I think I got in trouble for people.
No, that was people paying you. You got in trouble for. You can pay people.
Well, you need to pay people their $3.78. You got to finish the job.
What would happen if someone just said no, I'm not going to pay this?
Ryan from Iguanago got my beads. Nothing owed on my end.
Oh wow!
Wow, this is a conspiracy.
I wonder if it's a distance.
Ryan in the 303. I got my beads. And you didn't have to pay.
303, that's not Wisconsin.
Unexplained mysteries in the U.S. Mail Department.
Is the U.S. Mail Department, some people are probably robbing people of money.
Some beads are getting stolen.
Wait, and they ask for cash?
Real quick, hold on. Let's go back to Dwayne and Sheboygan who's still with us. Dwayne.
Yeah, so
Dwayne,
the beads were still in the envelope. I'm in Sheboygan, so I don't know if it's not really a distance thing. It shouldn't be.
No.
I wrote it somewhere else.
I think we may be having to investigate the United States Postal Service.
James the Postman, 800-990-3776. Have you ever taken a letter to somebody to pocket an extra $3.78?
Corruption.
Was there an inconsistent amount of beads in there? So there's all of them at the
3 beads, a letter in a white envelope with 2 stamps and a penny stamp that I paid a good $1 for. Now KBN Nation is getting charged more than what I was charged per letter.
What if we get a federal investigation started because of this?
I don't like unsolved mysteries, and this will be one.
No,
we need to get to the bottom of this.
It won't be unsolved.
They're going to make a documentary.
They are. How a sports talk radio show, Kyle Brust and Nortman, ended up breaking down the scam of the United States Postal Service of them charging people cash only. Cash only, because cash can't be traced.
I still think it was strange that they made Ben put a penny stamp on these as well. Such also a strange recommendation and requirement at the front end of the sentence.
So I would say text in 800-990-3776 if you want me to send you beads, but you better have $3.78 ready to give to the postman.
We're going to find out who the Packer fans are.
What if we really did find out that Sheboygan is scamming people?
Ryan and Madison, you got beads.
Yes.
Any postage due from the mailman?
No, I live on the east side of Madison. 303 is the Denver area code, by the way. But yeah, I live in Madison. I get east side. I got them, and I'm working on my voodoo hex because I'm a Bears fan.
Oh, hell, get him out. Wow. Get him out.
Ben, you didn't check.
I can't do background checks on everyone I'm sending this to.
God.
Wait, you want me to go on Facebook and check up on their lives?
You got KBN Nation getting scammed, and now you got the Packers beads to some Bears fan doing a voodoo hex? The hell you got going on in this operation?
His laugh as he departed from the line was dastardly.
Yeah, well, he's got nothing to do this year except to root for the downfall of the Green Bay Packers.
I still don't understand this whole postage.
Dawn, I believe, is from Sheboygan. So it's only the Sheboygan post office.
Oh.
Sheboygan!
Sheboygan under the microscope.
Should we call Sheboygan post office?
I kind of want to.
I know some postman and women, boy. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
I know some postman and women.
I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a big-ass bust in Sheboygan.
Doug and Kenosha, you're up on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Help us solve the unsolved mystery of the added $3.78 to my beads sent out to KBN Nation.
So a person had the same $3.78. Nobody was like $2.10 or nothing.
Right now, it's pretty consistent, and they're both from Sheboygan.
So wouldn't that be like a weight thing or something? Like maybe it.
No, but
maybe it's weighed too much.
They weighed each and every single one of those letters in front of my very eyes. That's the problem here.
Dog,
that sounds like a Sheboygan shyster to me.
Oh! Hey, the Sheboygan shyster.
The Sheboygan shyster. Oh, what a Netflix story this is going to be.
This is going to be gobbled up. This footage right now is going to be used on the documentary.
It is. Think about that. Good side.
As Kyle just put his smile on, Mr. Swagger.
I'm so serious. This is a scam. The Sheboygan shysters. They're shysting people up in the Sheboygan.
I believe I sent some to Diana McGuanago, 800-990-3776. Did McGuanago have to pay extra postage?
Hey, Dirty D.
Oh, I can put her on. Sorry, Strofe. Diana, you're up.
I have not checked the mail yet today because I've been dealing with stupid people all day.
Oh, no.
I will check them.
Every day in this office.
I will check the mail when I get home, but I have not. No one charged me anything if they're in the mailbox. But I'll let you guys
appreciate it, Diana. As Kim chimes in, Allenton post office here, also $3.78.
Allenton, where is Allenton?
Allenton's going that way, I think.
Well, I sent this to Virginia, to Florida, to L.A. Are they going to have to pay $50 for beads?
I would love to know the out-of-state ones. That would be absolutely fascinating.
Todd in Watertown, help me. What's going on?
Okay, we ran into this during our wedding. We packed it full of a bunch of different flyers and crap, and then all of a sudden, guests were getting charged like $1 or $2, but not all of them, because we went down to the post office and found out all they have to do is say they suspect something, so they weigh it. If they don't suspect it, they don't weigh it. So then you don't get charged. I don't know how the hell they didn't charge you that much when you initially went in there, though.
Well, there was a white powdery substance that was found at the Milwaukee post office that I went to. And it wasn't me, and it was clear.
At that post office?
Yes.
I'm glad I wasn't licking no envelopes over there.
So what do I do?
Nothing. You do nothing.
What do you mean?
You take it's not your
you gotta
fault.
make this right.
I got to make this right.
Here's the thing. I want you to make it right, but we just got a suggestion of somebody going to the post office to clear this up, because I'm a big proponent of blaming Ben Brust. I love to do that. But Ben, you went to the post office. They told you what you need to do. You need to pay more, which you did. You paid even more with a penny sticker I've never heard of before that. So you did your job. That's not your fault.
Did they scam me too?
I think they double dipped.
Yeah, they did.
Double dipped the scam.
These people, KBN Nation, your beef ain't with Ben. Your beef is with the post office. Somebody didn't do their job. Ben, if I were you, I would them and say, listen, ain't me. You better talk to the post office. They should have told you, Ben, that you had to pay more. This ain't your fault.
Thanks, Kyle.
And I'll tell you what. KBN
Strofe,
Nation,
my fault?
I have an idea, but we can't execute it right now. I don't know yet. I can't make a judgment on whether it's your fault or not. As of right now, I actually don't think it is.
Something fishy is going from sender to receiver. Somewhere along the U.S. mail system, they're incurring fees that KBN Nation.
Where's James the postman when you need him? 800-990-3776. We will continue to go through Lettergate, the Sheboygan Scheist. Is that what they called it?
Sheboygan Shyster.
So you know how they say like Lettergate and Spygate and all that kind of stuff? That has to do with Watergate.
Yeah. Darren and Delavan also charged $3.78. You're up.
This is Dan. Dan and Delavan.
Dan, sorry, Strofe passed that up.
Yeah, I was charged. No problem. I was charged $3.78 also. So someone asked what happens if we don't pay it. From experience, if you don't pay it, it gets returned to sender.
I didn't put a return address because I just wanted to get these to people. Did you pay it?
Yeah, so I did not pay it yet. I wasn't planning on it. I have experience with this from ordering sports cards on eBay, and that occasionally it happens. It doesn't always happen. So I just think it's the size of the post office or the size of the town. I live in Delavan. It's kind of a smaller town, a lot smaller than Milwaukee. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but I've come across this before.
So what happens if you don't pay? What if you take the beads and don't pay? Are you on a watch list?
That's called theft.
Yeah, I don't know. Typically with the cards, if you don't pay, just return to sender because there's usually a return address.
All right, well, we appreciate it.
I don't think you can.
You can't take it until you pay.
I thought they kind of give it to you and say you owe.
No, that's not how America works.
You live a different life than we do.
Yeah.
It's just a trust
Wait a minute, what happens? This is what normal people do? What do you mean they just don't give it to you?
Potawatomi Casino Hotel is a great place that I now cannot go to because I owe $378 to a lot of people I've sent mail out to. But I can still go and just watch the 2,000 square foot video wall. I can look at all the bets that are out there. I can watch and cheer with somebody next to me that has a wager. I can eat some food. I can enjoy the best place on earth during sports season, which is Potawatomi Casino Hotel and their brand new sports book. We will continue. Oh, God. I'm getting more responses about the beads.
The KBN investigation.
No, but man. The letter was destroyed. We'll get to more of this and becoming relevant and the trade deadline. But most importantly, we got to solve this issue. Next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Craig Counsell bobblehead that was given away, and we, just did a nice, soliloquy. Is that the right word?
Yeah, like a montage.
Like a Virgil.
Vigil?
Vigil. A vigil. We did a vigil.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
At this point, we're looking at some delays along southbound 43, stretching from before Hampton down to Capitol, back on the brakes from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette, and that goes all the way down to the KK River. We've also got southbound 41 slowing down from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive, westbound 94 heavy from 16th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and then we've got a couple of pockets of heavy traffic southbound on the bypass from just south of Greenfield Avenue down towards Lincoln, and then back on the brakes from Oklahoma Avenue down towards the Hale interchange. And just remember, Capitol Drive closed in both directions at Highway 164 because of a crash. Traffic is brought to you by Walker Media Agency. Power your brand with smart marketing, advertising, and IT solutions. Visit WMA2024.com to elevate your business today. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, breezy, cooler, mostly cloudy with a low of 46. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 55. Weather's brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Thanksgiving's only a few weeks away, and Fleet Farm's got just what you need to prep for family and friends. For you turkey smokers, Griller's Gold barbecue pellets are just $5.99 a bag. And you can never have enough Fleet Farm mixed nuts. 2-pound bags are on sale for $12.99. Wash it all down with Bubbler's sparkling water. Now just $11 for 2 6-packs. The holidays will be here before you know it. So stock up now on everything you need at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
Confidence and strength begin with how you feel. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, it is not about just looking good. It's about results that last and empower you. With 5 convenient locations in Delafield, Mequon, Brookfield, Middleton, and Sheboygan, their team of world-class plastic surgeons, skilled clinicians, and expert estheticians are here to help you take control. Whether it's advanced skincare, anti-aging treatments, body contouring, or muscle strengthening, Quintessa has everything you need to sharpen your image and boost your confidence. Take the first step towards a stronger, more confident you. Visit myquintessa.com today.
Gabe Neitzel here. I know you've already heard me talking about how Mentality has helped me over the years, but there are others like me. Jason has been using Mentality for a while now and is loving the results.
I have gotten a handful of friends, probably a couple dozen, especially those that are closer to my age, maybe even a little bit older, because I just tell them, you got to check this out. Do not wait any longer. Just go and admit it. Yep, you're at an age where things are slowing down. I promise you, you're not going to regret it, and that's truly what I get. I'll get a phone call after, like, man, I feel like a kid at Chuck E. Cheese right now.
Learn more today at LowTUSA.com.
At IKEA, they love their customers. And from November 8th through the 11th, celebrate IKEA's Fall Customer Appreciation Days with exclusive deals, discounts, and giveaways. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Ben Brust. IKEA family members save 15% on in-store purchases of $150 or more and enjoy bonus discounts on select products. Plus, be one of the first 200 IKEA family members at IKEA Oak Creek this Saturday to receive a mystery gift card worth up to $500. Don't miss out on IKEA's Fall Customer Appreciation Days, happening this weekend at IKEA Oak Creek.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I'm very sorry to all of KBN Nation that put their address at 800-990-3776 as I proclaim this team will win the Super Bowl.
Will we expect anything different? If Ben's running something, there has to be some controversy.
I mean, what a cataclysmic change of events.
And
this
now
is a disaster.
People are getting envelopes with no beads in them. We're getting people that have gotten the envelope with our beads and letter that had to pay $378 to receive the beads. I have a plethora of beads.
Now you're just rubbing it in, Ben.
No, I'm not rubbing it in. I'm saying I would love to just transport these beads to a home. We had a whole conversation about how cool is it that you could just take a letter, put some stamps on, and it can go anywhere in the world.
Well, and we were also,
not so fast.
Yeah, now there's a cost to it, and they're getting stolen along the way. The other thing is, too, this was something that was going to unite KBN Nation. We could all be wearing our beads at the same time, but now
of course it's happening on Election Day.
Exactly.
Ooh, foreshadowing what we're going to hear.
Chef Ed, you're up. 800-990-3776.
Yeah, Ben, how's it going? How are you guys doing? Yeah, before I get to the comment about Bead-gate, I just want to say that I'm sick and tired of Packers and Goody always just being satisfied about making the playoffs and hoping of getting on a run when they get there. I mean, they need to get a splash move sooner or later.
Chef Ed, you're getting old. You just want to see a splash. You just want to see him do something.
Yeah, when have they made a splash move in your life? Because I know I've already given up on it, and you're a little bit more seasoned than I am. When's the last time they made a splash move, Chef Ed?
I wouldn't say the last time, but the best one of all time was when they got Reggie White. That transformed the Packers.
During the season.
When last time they made a big key trade during the season?
Mm-hmm.
Not really. They never really have.
And that's why
I can't remember.
Mad about it, Chef.
They always give players away and get draft picks for youth, but you can't stay young all the time.
Yeah, and we appreciate the call, Chef Ed, and thank you for coming to the 3rd Street Market Hall where I was able to deliver your beads over your head and not mail them to you.
For free. You didn't have to charge.
You didn't get charged. Apparently, is this guy's name Beads in Milwaukee? Beads in Milwaukee. You're up on Kyle Brust and Nortman, 800-990-3776.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
How are you doing?
Yeah, doing well.
Oh, good. I got my beads today. Hey! No postage or anything like that. Got the letter. I will personally figure this out, but I think people are stealing them. Post office people that want to be, part of this. But anyways, I want to flip gears just a little bit. I would have called in yesterday. I'm rolling with Kyle's mindset still on everything he said yesterday and today.
I like this.
My superstition, okay? First game of the year this year, I had to watch from Marathon City at a friend's house. They lose. Minnesota game I watched from Appleton at a family function. They lose. Yesterday, or actually Sunday, excuse me, I was in a hotel in Illinois after going to the Prime Outlet Mall. They lose. I will be home the rest of the year, I promise you.
Thank goodness.
Thank you, Beads.
Thank you.
You stay in that home.
Yeah.
Beads in Milwaukee. You sound like Tory Lowe.
No, Bees is on to something. Every time you're on the road.
Mitch chimes in and says
the frequency figured out.
Mitch chimes in and says, "I'll pay $3.78 for first place Brad's autograph."
Hey, how about that?
Oh, wow, that's right. We did sign it.
And this is a unique autograph because I put 98, 8, and 3. I've never done that before, but for KBN Nation, I'll do that.
Wow.
First place Brad, too. I like that. I like that texter.
I feel bad, guys. I'm not going to lie.
You should feel a little guilty.
Well, you did everything you could. Usually I would love to sort of, throw dirt on you right now.
I'm with you, Brad.
But, I just can't do it because
I don't
put
think
so
it's
much
your fault.
work in. And guys,
they waited in front of me. I paid extra for the postage. I paid $70 to get these out to the world. You're telling me they had to pay $4 for 3 beads?
Now, you're out the rest of the week. So I just want to point this out now because he's not running away from paying the $3.78 that everybody wants to charge him.
Or am I?
He is out the rest of the week after today. He's going on a little bi-week vacay. I'm going to dig into this while you're gone.
Yeah,
I'm going to figure out what's going on. I'm going to call every post office we know of that has charged $3.78. I'm going to do some research tonight and tomorrow, leading into the show tomorrow. We're going to uncover some answers. And, we did what we could. I guess I don't know what to tell you. I really wish I could bully Ben into paying, Venmoing a bunch of people $3.78.
But it's also hard to know who's who. I might get 1,000 requests for $3.78.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Well, I hope you got $3,000.
Oh, man, audit USPS, man.
I think it's hard to start a war with the USPS because we have James the Postman, who's a hardworking man who listens every day.
That's true.
But where is he today?
Yes.
Silent.
His silence.
Stealing.
His silence speaks volumes.
It was James the Postman.
Probably put it out to his boys.
It was James.
It
was James.
He texted all the postmen and women and said, "Hey,
be on the lookout."
Yeah. If it feels like beads.
If you see some Amazon Mardi Gras beads, $3.78 in your pocket.
And don't pick a fight with KBN Nation, though.
Easy money, fellas.
This is legitimately unbelievable.
This is crazy. The one time I actually feel like I was like, all right, here's the thing.
Delivered.
I'm not going to automate this. I said, you text in, I'm a grind. I stayed up late at night one night. Baby was down, watching Monday Night Football, just ripping addresses on white envelopes. We made a letter. We signed the letters. I stacked every single letter with 3 beads, went to the post office. They weighed them. I'm glad
I'm not part of this debacle. I'm glad I didn't help you.
So, according to Jake,
boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. Here we go. I have the answer. The reason why the letter is classified as a package by those post offices rather than a letter, most likely because it was bulky. Source: the lady I just talked to at the post office when dropping off 2 packages.
Wait, so what's the difference between a package and a letter?
Oh, that is going to turn my brain into a noodle.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The package or the letter?
No, I know what this is.
It's a cash grab.
Yeah, it is a cash grab. I know what a stingy ass place sound like to me. That's what Sheboygan is. They are cash grabbing.
Allenton.
Sheboygan, Allenton. No shots at Sheboygan or Allenton. Very fine cities, great cities. But your post office is out there trying to take money from the people.
Colin chimes in. I got my beads and letter just fine. Thanks for the autograph, Strofe.
They broke it, Colin. I hate brokies. That's what Sheboygan and Allenton post office are. They're broke.
I mean, we are running a deficit.
Don't use KBN Nation to fill that void or that gap.
Got to tell you about the Princeton Club because that's where I'm going to have to make sure I get strong to fight off the USPS moving forward if they come to my house and ask me for extra money because I know it's a scam now after the Bead-gate. So the Princeton Club open 24/7 with free childcare at the membership. We're helping Madison Hayes 24 on Instagram, our great social media extraordinaire who's a Princeton Club member, find love there. She's going to find her better tomorrow health-wise and maybe the love of her life. But you should check out the basketball courts, tennis courts, pools. Everything they have there is top class, best health clubs in Wisconsin, clean. Find your better tomorrow. Just have the courage to go get a tour, and you will get started on your journey to your best health ever at the Princeton Club. Deep breath. Is Andre Rison the last trade, by the way, that the Packers made in season?
I don't think it's the last one. It's the last big
impactful.
One, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I still have issues with the way the Packers handle the deadline. We'll hear from you, KBN Nation, about Lettergate, trade deadline, Packers, Bucks sucking, whatever you want next.
Lettergate or Packagegate?
Bead-gate.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
So they are lucky. Those other teams, whether it's Kentucky or whether it's Oregon or was it TCU?
That was TCU.
TCU, they're lucky I didn't play in that game. You got upset by a bad team, TCU.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
Named by me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for 60 months.
Visit PellaWI.com.
Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Be greeted by an owner at America's largest employee-owned jewelry store.
Welcome to Kessler's.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Lowe, Dobbs, Watson, Reed, and now Josh Jacobs? Football season is back, baby. Now's the time to set a game plan for your Green Bay and Wisconsin pigskin parties. This is Marie from Discount Liquor. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Whether you need an ice-cold keg, a bottle of your favorite wine, a unique craft brew, or hard-to-find liquor, we have everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
Wherever you're tailgating, we'll get you all set up with your favorite beverages. We're open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. See all of our weekly specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit ZBart.com for more information.
Well, seemingly for the Pack, when it rains, it pours, and rain it did on Sunday. Jordan Love, another tough outing as he continues to fight through that groin injury. 23 of 39 for 273 yards and yet another interception. This time it was a pick six to end the first half in their 24-14 loss. Head coach Matt LaFleur.
We know that we've got to take care of the football, but I don't question anything about what he's trying to do. We just got to do it better.
A silver lining, the Packers did rush for 138 yards in the loss.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
When's the last time the Green Bay Packers made an impactful in-season trade? We're all trying to discover that together because apparently Andre Rison was a waiver wire pickup, not a trade. 800-990-3776. The deadline is come and gone. Preston Smith was shipped out for a 7th rounder. They get rid of his money to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and on we go with the current 53-man roster. It sounds like we have some intel. Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin over at the KBN sports desk of the most impactful trade the Green Bay Packers have made in the last 30 years.
Yeah, I'm really struggling to come up with anything, but I found this interesting. In the year of 2009, the Green Bay Packers traded long snapper J.J. Jansen to the Carolina Panthers for the 204th pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, which became tight end Virgil Green.
J.J. Jansen.
For those who don't know, Brad Nortman, you know J.J.
J.J.'s like my NFL best friend, man. Long snapper for the Carolina Panthers. He's still snapping there. So the Packers are still regretting this trade because they could have had him snap for 16 years.
How much do long snappers make a year? Veterans.
They make minimum. He's probably making like I'm putting his business. Yeah, anyone can look at it. Start making a mill.
I mean, that's $17
million a year to snap the football.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah,
or should have did that. My mama told me to get out there, kick the ball, snap it.
Look at him now. He's still snapping. The Packers are still regretting it. J.J. Jansen.
The Packers.
Ernie the Barn chimes in regard to Bead-gate. Ben is going to get 300 texts from Kyle saying that I owe him $378 times 300, and I'm going to pay your mortgage.
I would love that. Maybe I got to get some people to send that out there. Get a whole bunch of fake Venmo accounts.
Yeah, see, now you're turning into the USPS yourself. Does anybody have an impactful trade, or is this just the life of a Green Bay Packer?
What's the life of a Green Bay Packer?
Do you want impactful trades overall or strictly the deadline?
Deadline.
Well, not a lot of them then is the answer.
Well, Goody specifically, since 2018, never traded for a player in season.
Did they trade?
Never.
And I don't think he has in season.
He hasn't.
Trade for Sewell.
Terry Glenn. Did they trade for him during the season? You want to look that up?
But like, you see what we're doing here? This was what the stem of my entire issue was about the complaining about not winning enough Super Bowls, but also protecting the draft picks and continue the sustained success.
Terry Glenn was in the offseason, March 11th, 2002.
I don't know what to tell you, fellas. The Green Bay Packers just don't make moves, and that's why
Brett Favre was, of course, also the offseason.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that one.
Yeah, no problem.
Rodgers?
Well, they didn't trade for Rodgers.
To the draft.
Oh, that's right.
And then trade him in the offseason.
Very good, very good.
Yeah. See, this is why I don't get my hopes up, fellas. That's why when I knew 3 o'clock was coming, I wasn't checking the news today to say, who are the Packers going to move today? Because I already knew what it was.
It just seems like it's something the Packers are leaving on the table. I mean, you shouldn't do this every year.
They
the
do
Kansas
it
City
every year.
Chiefs.
No, I know, but he's right.
People do from time to time. It makes some sense to do, and Super Bowl winners have benefited from it from time to time. So to have this line in the sand, this is not.
Was
who we
this
are.
in season? Was Malik Willis in season?
Kind of depends. How you look at it, I guess it was post preseason, but pre-regular season.
I'm trying, guys. I'm searching.
That's impactful.
Impactful. It's 3-0,
fellas. I'm saying it's come and gone another year, and guess what? We'll be sitting here in 2025 saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, Ezra just chimed in. Did we not trade for Malik Willis? Well, he did.
No, listen.
Got the 7th rounder back with Preston Smith.
Nope.
They traded for they signed him. Never mind. I was going to say Braden Narvison too. Yeah.
Narv dog.
That was a sign.
Narv pup.
Pup. You're right.
Narv pup.
He is a pup.
He never made it.
Yep. Run of the litter.
Got to tell you real quick about Palermo's because I know what I'm having for dinner tonight. We are flying to Arizona with a child, which not excited for.
Cool.
Flying part with a child. Never experienced that. But why cook? Why clean? Why do any of that when we just were at Palermo's and Kyle missed the day that they will let us walk out with 5 pizzas?
Oh, what?
Dude, my freezer is stocked.
I was right down the street, too.
Thin and crispy, tavern style, screaming. We got it all, Kyle. Brad, did you take one of the ones from where the bread comes in from Italy?
Oh, I did. The pinza.
Dude, so good.
Oh, I can't wait to try it.
Dude, it's so good. Jim, Matt, and Molly next in Madison. Beaver Dam has the Dam Sports Show, and we're back. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman in 2 minutes for the 414 Hour at 4, and on YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee.
At this point,
point, we're looking at some delays along southbound 43, stretching from before Hampton down to Capitol, back on the brakes from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette, and that goes all the way down to the KK River. We've also got southbound 41 slowing down from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Westbound 94 heavy from 16th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And then we've got a couple of pockets of heavy traffic southbound on the bypass from just south of Greenfield Avenue down towards Lincoln, and then back on the brakes from Oklahoma Avenue down towards the Hale interchange. And just remember, Capitol Drive closed in both directions at Highway 164 because of a crash. Traffic is brought to you by Walker Media Agency. Power your brand with smart marketing, advertising, and IT solutions. Visit WMA2024.com to elevate your business today. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, breezy, cooler, mostly cloudy with a low of 46. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 55. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score $142.74. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. Zero sugar, zero carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. Holla. We them boys. Holla. We making noise. Holla.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on Election Day on KBN.
He's Kyle Wallace. I'm Ben Brust alongside Brad Nortman, Alex Stroh running the show. UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. And on YouTube, you can see our beautiful faces at ESPN Milwaukee, joined by another beautiful face, the one, the only. He's Tori Lowe.
Hey, what's happening in?
It is Tori Lowe Tuesday here, so happy to have you, Tori, because you have long-standing knowledge of the Green Bay Packers.
Well, like I said, it's Green Bay all the way, or, we don't want nothing else. We want to win, or.
So I'm glad you said that. We are trying to come up with a time in which the Packers midseason made a very impactful trade to help this football team progress further and maybe take that next step. What's the last time you could remember somebody coming in midseason help this team?
Well, I don't know about mid-season, but I know that when it's two people that really made a huge difference in two different eras.
Talk to me.
It was Reggie, and it was Woods.
Yep. All off season though,
and free agents.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and
does it bother you though? Because I agree, right? You can talk about McKinney, Jacobs, etc. Does it bother you as a Packers fans that you see the Chiefs add like a D-Hop and he makes an impact, or you see other teams in this time of the year sort of tell their team, hey, we're going for it.
Right.
And it may be giving up a draft pick that, Goody loves to keep, and Packer fans love to see their young guys grow and develop. But as it pertains to watching other teams do it, don't you feel like they're leaving a little bit on the table?
I agree, but when you live by the farm system, you die by the farm system.
See, that's a realization.
And to me, we've always been this way. Like, we've always homegrown.
And is that good enough for you? Because you want more Super Bowls, don't you, Tori?
We want a lot of Super Bowls. That's why, to tell you the truth, if it's a beast out there, I want the beast on my team as far as football is concerned, especially a D lineman or a linebacker.
Well, that's going to take a lot of draft capital, and that's going to take a lot of first-round picks, maybe a first and a second.
And that's what I'm saying. So we depend largely on farming our talent. And
that's where my frustration comes in.
That's where we got the same frustration.
Because it's Quay Walker, it's Eric Stokes, it's Darnell Savage, it's Devontae Wyatt, it's Lucas Van Ness, it's Jordan Morgan. You would trade If you asked to put two of those guys together who are first-round picks and say, we'll trade 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby, they would laugh if you offered them the picks that the Packers made.
Tori, do you feel like we actually need to make a deal?
I think that the Packers are loaded with talent. And I think that unless we get a real game changer, somebody, especially on the D-line, I think that when we go for Super Bowl, you got to go defense. Defense win championships. So you got to, unless it's somebody that's like if it's 3rd and 9, they're gonna bowl their way in there and get the sack. Right now, Packers have the talent. I just don't know why it's not translating into the.
Doesn't it seem like when all these other teams, like the Lions, the Commanders, like they make impactful moves to improve their team and shore up areas where they feel like they need work. And then when the Packers don't do anything, don't you feel like on a relative basis those teams took a step forward? The Packers don't do anything, so the gap grows between. Because you got that bet for the Packers to win the Super Bowl, right?
I do. And I liked it, the team coming into the season. I thought that we were loaded. I think that, other than having somebody that can really make a play, because you don't see that with the Packers. You see certain shades of Rashawn Gary and that when he really wants to make that play, it's not consistent. I wish it was more consistent. But other than that, I think the Packers, at least on paper, we got a great team right now.
Okay, so we're talking with Tori Lowe here on Tori Lowe Tuesday. As he's the biggest Packer fan. Right. He has a whole, I don't know how to display of cheese heads and candles that he calls the frequency to help the Green Bay Packers win. What did you do with that frequency on that rainy day? Because
I was already working. I don't change it. I didn't change it. Now, when Malik Willis got in, I took one of the flags off.
Earlier in the season?
Yeah. When I brought the flag in, that was my Malik Willis frequency.
Ooh.
But then when I put it back when Jordan Love came on, and then we did well. But this time, I think that...
Where are you at with Jordan Love?
You know what? I'm going to tell you this. I don't know how bad the injury is.
And to me, that's the reason why he's struggling?
And to me, he was not mobile. Willis, in the rain, would have been more mobile, making plays with his feet. I thought that Jordan Love is either something wrong where we don't know exactly what's going on with his groin, because he made 0 to no attempts to use his feet.
Yeah, you know what?
He doesn't run for yards traditionally.
But what I'm saying is every quarterback knows that when the game is on the line, 3rd and short, like if you can get that little lane and crease, you're going to take it. And this is just a part of just being a quarterback, especially when the game is on the line, especially when I don't go for it like off the top, like this is your first option. But when you got to make a play, you got to pull a John Elway. You got to go for it.
I don't like that usage there.
Well, what I'm saying is you got to use your feet. But what I'm saying is Jordan Love was not making any attempt. He was taking a lot of losses.
Tori, they wouldn't even
in the game yesterday.
Tori, and I know this is a creative thing that they did earlier in the season as well, but when they did the QB sneak, who did they move back there to do the QB sneak?
The tight end.
They moved Tucker Kraft in there because they don't want to put him at any risk way. And also, hold on, LaFleur also said this week, I know he says a lot, he said Jordan Love was limited during practice, and he was limited on the field on Sunday.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So at what point after the interception you say, okay, let's pull him, let's put Malik in? I mean, I think that you got two things going on here. You don't want to make the young quarterback think you don't have confidence in him, but if he's not performing at the highest level against the Lions, put a Willis in that can move around during the rain. It's wet outside. He can use his legs.
They quiet because you preach.
But
I've done this argument 80 times, and I'm done with this argument.
You paid Jordan Love $55 million,
and that's what I said.
But he was hurt.
And play and
he was
play
injured.
Through injuries happens all the time.
But he was hurt, not injured. You play through being hurt.
So because he made $55 million a year, we made a decision. Well, we pay you $55 million. So despite the fact that you're not 100% healthy, we're going to sacrifice potentially this game because we paid you money, so we need you out there. No, he was limited.
It reflects value, is what it is. I think he's so valuable to this team that you got to have him out there against the best team in the NFC.
It's actually really bad that people are like talking about Malik Willis as much as they are because they're putting that gap way too close of what it actually is.
He was hurt, fellas. Well, he was hurt in his lower.
All right, so if he's ever hurt again, you know what? Let's just lay him down. Let's just put him on IR forever. Then
All right,
now we're going extreme.
All right, hold on. I do.
That's what you sound like. He was so hurt he couldn't have played. We should have protected him.
Tori just told you he was limited to him.
Before we going into the game, I thought that Jordan Love gave us the best chance to win, even if he was at 80%. But it comes a point in the game, as the game is unfolding, that he looks like, okay, this may be something that we may have to address and put him to the side due to maybe his limitation and mobility in the rain. I don't think that would have been a bad thing to do.
But LaFleur asked Love at halftime, "Are you okay? Are you good to go?" And he said, "I'm good."
LaFleur's blind.
So if LaFleur would have taken him out, you can't really say it was because of injury because Jordan Love said, "I'm good." So you're basically benching him for performance.
LaFleur needs to, in the sense of he needs to be a leader, right? And what leaders do is they're able to evaluate the talent that they have and put them in a position that can make them most successful. And this point where you ask a very competitive individual who wants to be the team leader in Jordan Love, "Are you okay?" Of course he's going to say yes because he feels like I can move a little bit. If I can move, I can play, right? But at a certain point, you have to understand that you can move a little bit, but you can't do what we need you to do today to win. And we appreciate how you tried to gut it out today, Jordan, but we need you to rest up because this is only one game. Let's see what Malik can do in the second half. We got a bye coming up. But the most important thing is, regardless of what happens after this, what happens in this game, it's about how we finish the season. We saw how we finished the season last year, Jordan. We got to have you healthy so we can replicate that as well. So like I said before, the rest of the season is more important than this one game against the Lions.
Over to the KBN Sports Desk with Alex Strofe. We have a fun edition of Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust with Tori Lowe.
Oh, wow.
All right,
get that noggin working.
I thought that these elections had my brain going.
Well,
I might actually hear
because we have a government-centric?
An election adjacent
civics.
Here you go,
United
Tori.
States government
You ready?
We're going to figure it out.
90 seconds on the clock.
Is it local?
You got this.
You can't say skip or pass, though. Here we go.
Okay.
How many electoral votes does the state of Wisconsin have?
10.
Correct. What are the three branches of the U.S. government?
Executive, House.
Nope.
Congress.
Next.
Incorrect. Which president served the shortest term in office?
Nixon.
Incorrect. Which president served the longest term in office?
Obama.
Incorrect. Who is the only president to have resigned from office?
Oh, I don't know that.
You said his name earlier.
Nixon.
Correct. Which president signed the Emancipation Proclamation?
Lincoln.
Correct. Who is the oldest president to be inaugurated?
Biden.
Correct.
How do you know that one?
How long is a U.S. senator's term?
Senate. Two terms.
Incorrect. What is the job title of the presiding officer of the U.S. House of Representatives?
Repeat that one more time.
What is the job title of the presiding officer?
Who was Nancy Pelosi? What was her title?
Oh, the Speaker of the House.
Correct.
Yeah,
Which amendment of the Constitution gave women the right to vote?
I can't think of one name.
19th. What term describes the president's power to reject a bill?
Executive.
A veto is what you're looking for. Incorrect. How many total votes are in the Electoral College?
How many total?
Yeah.
207.
Incorrect.
That's the win.
Yeah.
That's the win. 538 total.
Oh, okay.
How many articles are there in the U.S. Constitution?
Did I run out?
Is it over? By the bell. 7.
I would have beat his ass.
What? You would have got me?
Yeah. Without the hint, he wouldn't have got Speaker of the House.
So he would have been 5.
I got him at 4.
What? I got 5.
Well, you got 4 with all the.
All I said was Nancy Pelosi because he didn't. The question was a little confusing.
Because I was trying to hear how he was putting the question together. Yeah.
Jonah chimes in. Jonah in Port got my beads yesterday, but it got absolutely destroyed. Thanks, USPS.
Man,
shaking
what is
my
going
head.
on?
I got to start a war with the USPS.
Go ahead. You can start that war. I don't fight with the federal government.
I wouldn't say that.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't want.
I wouldn't say you want to start a war with the government.
Right.
Yeah, for y'all that are listening to KBN, Ben is not a representation of Kyle Wallace. He's a representation of Ben Brust.
Right.
I just want y'all to know that. So when y'all start tapping phones or whatever y'all finna do, just tap his. Let
Right.
me be free.
And Brad Nortman's.
And untap mine.
Because this phone is for real tap.
All right, Kyle, tell us about UWD.
Oh, I sure can tell them about UWD. You can play the music while I'm doing it. You know I like to turn up. Wait, what the heck is this? Tori, what is this?
This is Jelly Roll.
I like it. Jelly Roll's good.
I was expecting a little turn up music.
I'm not well.
Why aren't you well?
Oh, this is a good song.
Jordan Love wasn't well all the way.
Well, Tori, you know
Powerful, Tori.
Hey.
No, keep it going. Because you know what makes you well, Tori?
What?
UWD.
Okay, that's powerful.
Universal Windows Direct. And listen, Tori, as you head into winter, just like you, KBN Nation, I don't want you to be stuck with old, drafty windows, making your heating system work overtime. Universal Windows Direct is here to help you warm and save money on those energy bills. With their exclusive Super Spacer technology, these windows help keep the edge of the glass warmer, making your home more energy efficient and comfortable all season long. Plus, their energy-efficient windows can help you save up to 40% on your heating bills. Yes, 40% on your heating bills, keeping money in your pocket each month. And always remember, the best part is when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free. If you buy 4 windows, you get 4 free. If you buy 20 windows with Universal Windows Direct, Tori, you get 20 free.
Oh, wow.
It is. Oh, wow, it's absolutely right. And on top of that, Universal Windows Direct is offering 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 whole years of interest-free financing. Restrictions do apply. Call Universal Windows Direct today at 414-410-2000 to schedule your free in-home estimate. And always remember, call them at 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Powerful.
Time now to hear from Alex Strofe. Coming up next, it's his segment, Becoming Relevant on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
We've called him Whitey Tighties. We've called him the Hall Monitor. He's Jesse Nelson. Like, he's just, I am Jesse Nelson. Kyle, you're Jesse Nelson.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Some delays along southbound 43 stretching from before Hampton down to Capitol, back on the brakes from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette, and that goes all the way down to the KK River. We've also got southbound 41 slowing down from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive, westbound 94 heavy from 16th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and then we've got a couple of pockets of heavy traffic southbound on the bypass from just south of Greenfield Avenue down towards Lincoln, and then back on the brakes from Oklahoma Avenue down towards the Hale interchange. And just remember, Capitol Drive closed in both directions at Highway 164 because of a crash. Traffic is brought to you by Walker Media Agency. Power your brand with smart marketing, advertising, and IT solutions. Visit WMA2024.com to elevate your business today. And check in the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, breezy, cooler, mostly cloudy with a low of 46. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 55. Weather's brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be.
Kringle
I think his legs.
Yeah. Wilde and Tauscher, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry. Are you guys being serious? You guys can't put 2 and 2
I got it. I did not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish turnover. Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you too, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Come to Kessler's and be greeted by an owner of the store.
We're America's largest employee-owned jewelry company.
Okay, but as a customer, what does that mean to me?
For one thing, it means you get to see every possible diamond choice.
Kessler's has diamonds from diamond mines and created diamonds from plasma chambers.
You can choose from 1,400 loose diamonds.
And every style of engagement ring ever designed.
Okay, I'm convinced.
And no other store can show you a Kessler 81.
With 81 facets instead of just 57, it wins the sparkle contest every time.
I'm convinced.
And no other store has the Kessler Princess Cut.
Or the exclusive Kessler's Emerald Cut or Kessler's Square Radiant Diamond.
I give up.
And when you want to tell her that you love her twice as much today as the day you married her.
Kessler's has big anniversary diamonds that can be twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Kessler's is unique in all the world.
So what do you say to all that, Sarah?
Welcome to Kessler's.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Chris Larson. The 18th-ranked Golden Eagles tipped off the regular season with an impressive 102-62 win over Stony Brook at Fiserv Forum. Senior guard Cam Jones led all scorers with 32 points on 14 of 16 from the floor, his 5th career game of 30 points or more.
Cam Jones around a couple screens, and they better get it in. Now they get it to Cam Jones in the corner. His 3 is good! Oh, man!
Marquette continues non-conference play Friday against George Mason at the Al McGuire Center for a students-only game.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Fluellen, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino Stay and Play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait. These popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Strophe knows this at IKEA. They love their customers. And from November 8th through the 11th, you can celebrate IKEA's Fall Customer Appreciation Days with exclusive deals, discounts, and giveaways. IKEA family members save up to 15% on in-store purchases of $150 or more and enjoy bonus discounts on select products. Plus, be one of the first 200 IKEA family members at IKEA Oak Creek this Saturday to receive a mystery gift card, which could be worth up to $500. Don't miss out on IKEA's Fall Customer Appreciation Days happening this weekend at IKEA Oak Creek. Speaking of Strofe, we're going to get to him because it's Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin with UKBN Nation, 800-990-3776 on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. Let's hear from our guy, Alex Strofe.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
Womp, womp, womp. The Milwaukee Bucks lost again. 1-6, 6 in a row. They play the winless Utah Jazz on Thursday at Fiserv Forum. Where are we at on the panic meter if we went scale 1 to 10?
7.
Oh, wow. That's high.
Yeah, I was going to go
I'll give more reasoning, but I want to hear yours.
I'm going to go with 6. You know, it's super early. This is the equivalent of, like, the Packers, like, week 1, right?
I'll make mine 8.
Yeah, but it's a bad week 1. The problem is nothing's changed, right? I mean, they have no draft capital. They have no cap space. They're very old. They're very injured. They're not very good when they all play together, which is rare anyway.
Very rare.
They have no depth of their bench. I don't see how this team wins an NBA championship this year, and I don't know how they build anything toward the future.
Yeah, I'm not going to panic. I'm at 3, maybe 2. Because the simple fact is last year, remember Adrian Griffin was the coach early on, and the Bucks started so well, and they knew they had issues. I think once this team eventually gets healthy, it'll be fine. Yesterday,
eventually gets healthy. That's a strong statement.
Well, I mean, they signed Chris Middleton.
Hopefully, they signed 8 athletic trainers.
Well, they better do what they got to do to get him right and get him healthy. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's early. I mean, you got to find your rhythm at some point. I wish they started off better, but I'm not going to panic. Now they competed last night without Giannis in that game. They were up in the game and couldn't hold on to it, per usual. So I'm not going to panic quite yet.
I'm a 10. I remember sitting at Summerfest.
7, 8 to 10.
Yeah, because I remember sitting at Summerfest, and I got to stick with my guns here. The truth of the matter is, this team is too old, and they're not good enough to win a championship as constructed. They're just not. It's been proven that everything for them to win a championship would have to go perfect. And when I mean perfect, health. And that's a huge thing, right? Giannis, Chris, Dame, they can't play with each other because Chris Middleton's out longer than they even expected at the start of the season. As soon as you think something's going to be good for them, it goes the other way. And at this point, do you believe in their roster against the Boston Celtics again? No, they have like the 10th best odds to win the NBA championship for a reason because they're no good.
It's actually very disappointing that Chris Middleton is out again because they tried to sell us a dream. They say, oh, yeah, he's not doing 5-on-5 right now, but yeah, we expect him to be ready for the season. Fooled
Hell
me.
With that.
Fooled me.
They got me too in your defense.
Yeah. They have so little support to help like the starters. All those old starters are going to have to find a way to play like they did in their prime in order for them to have a chance.
And that's not sustainable.
Dame had 36
That's not gonna happen.
last night. Like, the Bucks have some guys. They just got to
But that's
mesh
because
it
no
together.
Giannis, so he had to kind of do all the scoring.
Well, even with Giannis, he did put up a 40-some spot, 9 threes.
On Saturday.
Maybe it'll make you feel better. The Philadelphia 76ers not in a much better spot. Paul George making his debut last night. Still lost. 1-5 the Sixers are on the season, so just one less loss.
And Embiid.
That's what I'm getting to. Thanks for jumping in. Joel Embiid has
watch
yet
your
to
tone.
play a game. You watch your tone,
Oh, what,
pal.
you going to smack him? You going to slap
It's
him?
a tone off.
Joel Embiid, while we've been on the air, suspended 3 games for shoving a columnist in the Sixers locker room. So, for those of you keeping track at home, games suspended 3, games played 0 for Joel Embiid.
I wish I would have been that journalist, boy. Had he put his hands on me.
I'm hurt. My arm.
My knee, my leg, my arm, my back. It's spinal. I would have sued his ass.
spinal.
Boy. I would have called sue your ass. I would have said 414-276-6660. Hey, David.
Hey, David.
We about to come up on a check. Millionaire check. Joel just put his hands on me. Ooh, I wish
sue
it was
your
me.
ass.
I wish it was me. I want one of these NBA players to put their hands on me, boy. Work for fun, not for need.
You're the best. The phone number, David. We're gonna have big come up. David's already got his come up. This is your come up.
This is how you get rowdy at the Bucks games, Kyle. Try to incite the
I wish.
opposing fans.
I don't. But I would just hope, because I am a member of the media, and I wish Joel would put his hands on me, not because I'm trying to fight him, simply because I'm trying to get a check. Oh, you just touched the wrong one, mister. I hitting you back. Everybody saw it.
Mr. Joel.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Say what you want about me, but I can't say I ain't paid
College
after that.
basketball season tipped off last night, including the debut of head coach Doug Gottlieb at the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay.
That's the lead.
Well, Gottlieb just sweat through his shirt in like 3 minutes into the game. I don't know if you guys saw the meme making the rounds on the internet. Gottlieb is a sweaty individual. I'm just curious, have you guys sweat through shirts in a non-athletic way?
Not like that. The only time that I've come close, but it is probably like a wedding at a hot venue.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I would sweat through shirts when it made sense. Florida summers, hot, stuffy weddings.
Does it make
things
sense
like
if you're
that.
coaching a basketball game? I think that makes sense.
It depends on the gym. I mean, these warm gyms maybe, but some of these gyms
Kohl
are quite
Center's an
comfortable.
ice rink.
It is chilly.
All you guys are telling me is that you never really had to work hard at work before.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I've sweat at work many times, just working.
I did 2 days working for my dad in construction.
And then you quit. You realize
And then
you're
I quit.
sedentary.
Hard.
Okay.
It was way too hard.
Yeah.
Shout out to all you grinders out there.
Okay, well, I have hyperhidrosis of the underarms. I don't know if I've ever told you this.
Oh, you did tell us this.
Hyperhidrosis?
Yeah, so my armpits sweat a lot. I've tried like prescription deodorant and stuff. It doesn't work in the winter. In the summer, it's actually not as bad. I don't know why that is.
In the winter, you're sweating more?
In the
real,
winter, I
though.
sweat more. In the summer, I really don't sweat that much.
Why do you have
Must
it?
be
Just
the-
way
must
you're
be the
made?
heat.
Overactive?
What do you mean, why do I have? You think I chose for it?
Yeah, like did you do something to incite your sweat glands? Or is it just how you're
the
made?
look Homer just gave you is
Ooh,
off
fresh
the charts.
cut Homer at
Yeah,
that.
Homer's looking
That
sharp.
bald head looking real fresh.
Oh, baby!
Oh, baby.
Looking clean. Boy, I can see
Can,
my
can someone ask
reflection.
Homer if he got that cut for the Marquette season? You can't hear me.
Yeah, Homer, yes or no, this was a fresh cut to kick off the Marquette season?
No. In fact, the first time in my life, my granddaughter said, "Why'd you get your haircut? I liked it better the old way."
Really?
Yeah.
I think you look
I like it like this.
you look clean.
You
real
look
clean.
intimidating.
There's an old barber, Tom, in Tosa, and
Notice how he
old
didn't say
barbers
thank
just aren't
you.
as busy as they used to be.
Yeah,
So I just felt like I needed to go give him $20.
His clientele is, yeah.
They're dying.
Yeah.
Old white man.
Yeah, to get or no longer around.
But I don't even tell them what to do.
It can't be a very hard cut.
I agree with that.
You have no hair.
He's got hair.
Yes. No, it's the cheapest thing. It's just
How long does it take?
8 seconds. I don't know.
He
It's
took too much off the top
5
today.
minutes.
Homer, I could cut your hair going forward. I'll do it for free.
No, I want to give the $20 to Tom. He's a great guy, and
Well, you can give him the $20, but I'll do your haircut.
Does he do your face
then
too?
I'm not gonna just. Then it feels like charity. This what?
That's what it sounds like. It
doesn't
sounds
do
like
your
charity.
face
You
too?
said
No, but I mean,
you said I want to give him the $20. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy, and I don't have to tell him. Just cut it any way you want. Just do whatever you want.
I feel like he needs to do a little bit more because he can make that facial hair kind of
he's
connect.
not gonna, no, he's not. That's not old school.
Homer, you could be a zaddy.
What is that?
We're all still trying to figure out what that means.
He wants
Him a sex icon.
He wants his girlfriend to call him Zaddy instead of Daddy.
I'm gonna Google white zaddies and I'll show it to you during the break.
Is it weird to want your
old white
girlfriend
zaddies.
to call you Daddy? And if not Daddy, then Zaddy?
Totally.
It's creepy, right?
He's.
Oh, here it is. Here it is, Homer. That's a zaddy. You see it.
Well, can you describe it for the listening audience?
Is it a beard?
Homer, basically, you guys can Google old white zaddy too and it'll pop up. But it's basically a white guy with gray hair with a nice beard and well clean, well shaved.
Yeah, but the guys you said,
I
they're
thought that's like
chiseled.
Tennessee. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Homer, he could be a skinny zaddy. Look at this guy, Homer. Look at him. That could be you.
I don't want to look like
That
that.
guy looks
Well,
creepy.
no, there's no way I could look like he has hair.
I mean, we could make it.
We can bring the toupee back.
That's just
Trying to help you out, Homer. I'm trying to spice things up for you.
Don't waste the time.
Wait, so Ben, you've been struggling with your haircut.
So you say.
I think we all agree. You said you need it to grow in for about 3 weeks. Why don't you go visit Tom and Tosa?
What's wrong with his hair?
That's a
Well,
great
it's fine
idea.
now, but I think you should go visit Tom and Tosa.
That's a great
It can't
idea.
be much worse than you've been getting.
Even a trial run.
Why are you guys being mean
Tom
right now?
doesn't do stuff like that.
Hey, Tom doesn't do that. You give me a bowl cut.
What would Tom do if you're like, just cut it?
Tom has one picture on the wall, just number one.
No, he has pictures of people like that. You like that the new cuts and everything like
He
that.
can't
but
do 'em?
No, I've never seen anybody that young to do
you
it.
should, next time you go, say, Tom, I want the number 5.
Okay.
See what Tom said. Number 4. No, I asked for that before.
No, the best thing was he used to have lawnmowers and snowmobiles that you get used ones. He'd fix them up on the side and stuff like that. So you go there, hey, get a haircut.
Who is this guy?
Seriously.
Does he still do that?
No, he stopped doing it. I don't know why.
He's getting old too.
Oh, maybe Homer. I don't know if a guy who can't use his hands to fix things anymore, he may not want him touching.
No,
your
he
head.
can still do it. I mean, he could.
He just doesn't.
He just chooses not to.
Huh.
I don't know if some people said, hey, you can't be pushing lawnmowers out in front of the.
Coming up next, it's election talk with Homer. I'm just kidding. We will get back to the Green Bay Packers and the trade deadline. Preston Smith, the big story, coming up next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
I think it's clear.
Yeah, and if Doc replicates what Booty did last year, or all, I'm saying
Come on, guys. His name is Coach Bud.
If he replicates
Coach Booty.
what Coach Bud
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We do have an accident on eastbound 94 right about at Hawley Road. Left lane is blocked. Please be extra careful heading past this scene because all of the drivers have stepped out of their cars and are just standing around. All it takes is for one car out of control to go through that area, and they do not have their cars to protect them. So please be very careful heading through there. Really, you're supposed to stay in your car. Other than that, we've got delays basically from the zoo to that point at Hawley Road. Westbound slowing down out of the Marquette to Hawley Road as well. Southbound on 41, backups from Good Hope Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. Southbound 43, slow from Locust all the way down to the KK River crossing. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Breezy, cooler, mostly cloudy, a low of 46. And tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 55. Weather is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? Get a little slice of summer on the links with Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. With bays at just $35 an hour, Mondays through Thursdays. That summer feel is easily back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point.
with Mike Greenberg.
The Bears did not show up. They looked lifeless, hopeless. That is an indictment of their leadership, both in the coaching and the player leadership. Because when you have a traumatic event take place amongst a group of people, and that's exactly what happened to them last week, losing the way they did to Washington is a traumatic event, then the leadership determines how you react. Good organizations use it to come together. They get better because of it. The Bears got so much worse. They were awful yesterday. In the second half, they were terrible. Caleb Williams is regressing. They're going to fire the coach because he is a bad coach. He is a terrible in-game coach. There was no reason to bring him back for this season, and so they're going to put Caleb Williams on the same hamster wheel that they put Mitchell Trubisky and Justin Fields on before him.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Save big money on appliances now at Menards. You need reliable and energy-efficient appliances to conquer the day. Menards is your one-stop shop with the largest in-stock appliance selection, ready to take home today. Check out our top appliance brands, including KitchenAid, Whirlpool, Maytag, Amana, and Criterion. Save big money on all appliances at Menards and check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all our great deals.
Save big money at Menards.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
So get it on me. I just want to see.
Oh, QC Kinetics is the place to go if you are dealing with joint pain, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back. And don't just take it from me. I have been there with my own two eyes, seen everything that they have in store to be able to get you back to the life you want to live. But take it from a friend of mine, a neighbor that lives in our neighborhood. She said that she had debilitating back pain for 19 years. Can you imagine 19 years of back pain? She went to QC Kinetics, and she said it's her, in her words, something of a miracle. I mean, she's already feeling pain-free, something she never thought she'd be able to experience. And she hasn't even got to the stem cell part of QC Kinetics' treatment. So much is in store for my neighbor. So much is in store for you when you finally decide to tackle that chronic joint pain that you're experiencing with QC Kinetics. They're going to use plasma and platelets and stem cells, so many different things to regenerate that tissue and give you the pain-free life that you're looking for. Don't wait any longer. Take advantage of your free consultation at QC Kinetics and give them a call today at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
All right, at this halfway point of the Green Bay Packers season, I do want to know 800-990-3776 where people's optimism and concerns are. Your biggest area of optimism and your biggest area of concern, 800-990-3776 on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. It's Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Start with optimism. Maybe are we doing? Is this
what do we land on the good news, bad news? Which one do you get first?
I'm a big
bad news first.
Bad news first.
Yeah, so let's do bad news first.
Okay, bad news. The areas of concern. Timely for today with moving Preston Smith. I just do not see how this defensive line improves. We've discussed the importance of being able to get a rush with 4, maybe 5 guys, but primarily 4. Most great defensive teams that play in a Super Bowl have quality defensive lines that can get pressure on a quarterback by themselves. If you have to send more guys, it compromises the back end of the defense. So for me, the area of concern I see, Preston Smith is now gone, and maybe you're going to get Mosby or Enigbare to take a step forward, but these guys have been incredibly absent. Short of Jeff Hafley creating a brilliant scheme to get pressure, the D-line just has not risen to the occasion. So my big concern, second half of the season and into the playoffs, is how is this team possibly going to get pressure from their D-line alone? It's a concern for me because I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, so for me, it's clear for that my biggest concern is that this football team, I think there's a lot of areas that they can improve in, but something about when it comes to penalties and discipline, sometimes that's just part of your identity. Thank you, in the fabric of who you are. And unfortunately, with this Green Bay Packers team, I kind of have a feeling that when we get to the playoffs, that might come back to bite us in the behind like a dog chasing a mailman.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, it happened in the game against the Lions, right? Like, everything that we had talked about that were little things that they were able to overcome against worse teams came back to bite them against the Lions. My biggest area of concern is Jordan Love. It's not that he can't turn it around, but as it stands right now, he's throwing a pick in every game he's played. His ability to take care of the football and not compromise the situations on the football field where he's rolling out and can spike it into the ground or throw it away and live to play another day, or be 2nd and 1 in the red zone and then still try and make something happen after throwing a pick six. It is all on decision making. This team has gone as far as Jordan Love has taken them last year, and what seems like in big games, it will be the same way. It's going to be him needing to make the Packers a great team with the way he elevates the offense through the air. And with that, 90% of the time, really, really good. 10% of the time, it's like, whoa, where did that? Why? No, well, huh? You're just like, your head scratching. And there needs to be 1% of the time to 99% of the time, because that's what you're paying him to do, to be a franchise quarterback and take care of that football. So that's my concern. My concern is QB1. Can it be fixed? Yes, but right now I have no evidence to say that it will be fixed because it's been a consistent pattern, the same way we talk about penalties and pass rush. So we now move to our places of optimism at the midterm point.
Yeah, let's end this segment this day with a little bit of optimism, right? To me, it feels like this offense has a horsepower of about 500, and they've only been able to really run at a clip of like 100. It feels like there's a lot of potential for this offense, and we've seen it.
Like an Amish car.
Yeah, I know. We got a long way to go. There's a lot of horsepower that has not been untapped, and there's been a few things that have popped up, like drops. How about like a poor, not bad script, because that's to start the game, but game flow. But inability.
You can say script. They've taken the ball 3 times, haven't scored a touchdown to start the game.
Inability to run the football. They've been able to do it effectively, but the game plan has not often called for to make that conducive to be able to score points quickly. I think specifically with this run game, it has been proven that you can run the ball hard and often with Josh Jacobs, and they just haven't been put in a position where they can do that often. I think this run game is going to pop in the second half. I think Jordan Love's going to get into rhythm. I think he's going to get healthy. I think this offense is going to take off, and I'm excited to see it.
See, you kind of leaned at the end. What I'm going into is that the thing we should be optimistic about is the fact that this team has not been in sync whatsoever. I said it yesterday, and I think a lot of people have seen it, and that's why you have people like Tilo and other people saying, well, maybe we should have put Malik Willis in that game on Sunday simply because we were down. Jordan Love was hurt, and what we know from Malik Willis is that Malik Willis can run this offense. He's limited with running the offense, but they seem a lot more in sync with him. And so once we can get this offense in sync with our $55 million man, which I believe will happen, that is the reason why I think that's something to be optimistic about. Jordan Love has a nice little break here where he can get healthy. And if the Green Bay Packers get healthy, they can get going offensively. Guy can start catching passes. That's when this Green Bay Packers team can really, truly take off. But that is an important thing for them to be successful, and that's why I have optimism, because I truly do believe that in the second half of the football season, this is exactly what will happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, my optimism can also be what my concern is. And my optimism is that Jordan Love, I'm still holding on to the fact that I saw enough last year of which he can be reined back a little bit, right? Because he still makes a lot of great throws. We're like, damn, right? Christian Watson misjudged one. Even seeing some of the throws where he's just a little bit off target, like to Dontavian Wicks, who dropped it but is behind him in a wet condition. Those are passes that we've seen him complete, and he's a rhythm guy. He hasn't had rhythm, right? So for the same reason I have concern about him making bad decisions is the same reason why I'm also optimistic that there's enough sample size of seeing him in a tough stretch, winning a playoff game on the road in a tough environment, and then also having an injury in week 1, a groin, and coming off the bye, he can be healthier, and they can find cohesive, complementary football after taking a deep dive into who they are as a team for the first 9 games, coming out the other side and saying, hey, we got more than this. We're better than this 6-3, and I truly believe this team has the capabilities to do so, but they got to hone in to the Kyle point of coming together and figuring out how to get rid of this stupid crap.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because it's one of those things where I just feel like that discipline thing is just part of who you are.
It's hard to fix in the middle of the season.
And I laugh at Cowboys fans because under Mike McCarthy, that football team continues to be penalized, and it kills them in the playoffs, right? And that's something that is always a pitfall and downfall for those Dallas Cowboys under Mike McCarthy. And so I just feel like that is something that you just can't rid yourself of. You just can't shake yourself of at some point. And I think, again, that's the biggest Achilles heel the Packers are going to run into outside of special teams just being inconsistent.
27th in DVOA. They're not on the good side of history with Rich Bisaccia right now, paying him $2 million. And the only reason why they were...
He'll be fired after the end.
He has to.
Yeah, I think so too. It's interesting with this team because you talk about like penalties and drops and sort of the muck that's keeping them down. Maybe it's the youth. I don't know, but this team is very streaky, right? Like when they're rolling, they are rolling. You saw that last year. But when they're off, it's like it takes forever to be able to get them out of that. So that's a moment of optimism too, is that no matter where this team is at, as long as they make it into the playoffs, that is the whole part of, are you peaking at the right time? If this team is streaky and peaking into the playoffs and during the playoffs, I truly believe they can beat anybody. There might be teams that are, quote unquote, better than them, but they can beat anybody.
Let's ask the same question to the professor. His name's John Anderson. You saw him on SportsCenter. He's joining Homer on the Homer Hour from 5 to 6. He joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Ben's pretty good at impersonations.
Hey, he's pretty good.
I either crush him or suck at him.
He's pretty good at faking it.
Yeah, being a faker.
Yeah, that's
exactly what it is.
Well, that's what acting is.
Why can't we come together?
Yeah, you're very creative in faking it. Good job.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Even when you think you know what's going on, you can never be too sure.
I will say, if you're driving yourself to the game, can't bring it home.
Come on.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
18, 19.
No.
If you're a teenager, you could still bring a glove.
License is the way to go.
What if it's vote?
No.
Why can't we compromise?
I'm willing to vote. I don't know how to make it more clear.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls here for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Call 414-410-2000 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Winter is almost here, and it's the perfect time to replace those old, drafty windows. For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to UWD.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we're the cold weather experts, offering unbeatable deals on the gear and supplies you need to get ready for winter. Like 30% off all zero exposure outerwear for the family. All Trico wiper blades are buy one, get one half price. Get $120 instant savings when you buy 4 Cooper tires. Rewards members save an extra $50. Plus, get up to $100 in additional savings by consumer rebate when you buy 4.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
The Packers head into their bye week following a disappointing loss to the Detroit Lions at Lambeau Field. In a game filled with Green Bay miscues, the biggest mistake came just before halftime as Jordan Love threw an interception that got returned for a touchdown with less than a minute on the clock to give the Lions a 17-3 lead. Love on what happened on the critical pick 6.
I didn't see him when I threw it. Like I said, I just saw Josh trying to get out of there. Like I said, the ball didn't go where I wanted it to. Yeah,
critical error. The 6-2 Packers now off until November 17th when they visit the Chicago Bears.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Need to find that perfect home? Don't sell. Upgrade with a home equity loan. Renovate that kitchen. Retile that bath. You choose the fixtures. Let us do the math. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Cousins Subs is spicing things up this fall with a new sub and a delicious shake. The Chipotle Cheesesteak Sub with either grilled-to-order chicken or steak features pepper jack cheese, sautéed green peppers and onions, jalapenos, and Chipotle ranch dressing. And that's not all. Pair your Chipotle cheesesteak with a new pumpkin pie shake and your taste buds will fall in love. Order in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
If your dogs don't always listen to you and ask yourself, why do they not listen to what I say? Well, I got a solution. That's Sit Means Sit Dog Training, because you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog. Contact Sit Means Sit Dog Training in Milwaukee or Waukesha to schedule that free consultation. That's sitmeansit.com, Milwaukee and Waukesha pages. We welcome into the program John Anderson, the professor of Missouri, a Wisconsin sports fan and a longtime Sports Center fame, to Kyle Brust and Nortman. John, how are you?
I'm good. Listen, I've had better weekends. I watched, thank God Missouri was idle. Otherwise, everybody I had a vested interest with just got pounded. The Badgers, the Packers. I guess the Bucks are trying to play. I can't tell if the regular season has started yet. It's just right now it's a lean weekend.
Yeah, and we're at the halfway point of the Green Bay Packers season. I want you to give an area of optimism that you have for the second half of the season and your biggest area of concern.
Optimism. Listen, they made it through 6-3, right? So that's okay. I'll take that. If they can go, what do they need? 5-2 the rest of the way. 5-3, 11-6. That's all right. That gets you in the playoffs. So that's okay. My area of concern is that I'm starting to believe that none of this has anything to do with defensive coordinators, and maybe those players aren't any good defensively.
I mean, that is a fair assessment based off the fact that there's been 3 different coordinators, and all these have been guys have been pretty much through the system, different systems,
seem to do the same thing, same different systems and the same kind of shortcomings. Don't get them off the field when you really need them. They tend to, when they really are bad, they just get dump trucked and steamrolled. So that's troubling. And then I'm not super concerned yet with Jordan Love. I just think that Coach LaFleur might need to give him the Malik Willis playbook and not give him the whole thing. I appreciate the really good second half he had and the development everybody thought he had, and still think he's going to be great, but I think maybe that we should not give him the 18 speed. Maybe he needs, sort of a 6-speed roadster for the moment, and let him work back into that. Because I think right now there's some things that have overwhelmed the young man, whether it's pressure from the defense or the position. And so that's concerning me a little, but I think that can be fixed. I think maybe a little smarter game planning around some shortcomings that or some development that hasn't taken place yet, that maybe we need to slow him down a little.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because it was you who doesn't ever want to see what he did against San Francisco ever again, and then we have L.A. and Detroit that followed.
I mean, 2 passes that were even worse. If you're like, can that happen? But apparently it can if you just go. who can tell what happens when really big angry guys are chasing you down and they have bad intentions, you know? And so sometimes you can lose your way. And that's all. I just think that maybe he's trying a little too much and too hard. And even at that, though, you're like, what are you doing? Why are you throwing those two passes? You're just like, I don't know under what circumstances anybody ever throws any of those passes. So that is a little, like, I can see if you want to throw a home run and you just air it out into triple coverage in the old school pass as good as a kick kind of thing. But these are bad throws in your own end. So those are concerning, and that's why I think if I was LaFleur, I might rein him in a bit.
Yeah, John, particularly the moment of the game when those happens. You're talking about nearing the end of a half, and you're just kind of throwing it up. So something for Jordan Love to get cleaned up for sure. But, you mentioned the defensive personnel, right? Worried that, hey, maybe it's not the scheme, that it's the players. It leads me to wonder, I'm right there with you, particularly the defensive line. And the trade deadline, John, it comes and goes once again, and the Packers don't make a move. In fact, they ship out Preston Smith, which I'm okay with because, someone new coming up, and he wasn't really doing much, and his snap count was going down. But are you left a little bit frustrated, left a little bit wanting with the fact that the Packers just once again do not bring anybody in during the trade deadline to try to improve the areas where they might have a deficit?
I think maybe I'm just used to it, and so I am.
Sounds like Kyle.
He's numb to the fact that they didn't do anything because honestly, I didn't expect any of it. In fact, as I'm reading the stuff, I'm like, wow, these are all really wishful thinkers that think that maybe the Packers are going to go out and suddenly change their spots and decide that they're just going to, go mad and trade for one person, let alone two. So I guess I just feel like they always, that's their spot. They got the guys. They think they have them. They're going to develop them. And so I'm not shocked at all, although I really would have loved to see if they could have gone out and shopped hard for a corner. That's the one spot that I think is the easiest way to bring somebody in and make a difference. But I'm not surprised. And maybe I should be frustrated. Like, for Christ's sakes, do something. That's the Wisconsin term, right? For Christ's sake, to go out and do something. But it just would be so against their MO that I sit here going, yeah, not it. And sort of the idea of that we're staying with the people they draft and develop and go with, right? That's the Preston Smith trade. Okay, let's get Ben on the field. It's his time, and there's a guy that was costing us some money. And we were getting kind of 7th-round production from him, so let's get rid of him for a 7th-rounder, and we don't have to go through at the end of the year where you release him and you worry about all that other stuff. So I didn't see if the Steelers were taking on his entire salary or how that was all going to work out. But
it did open up a lot of cap space for the Packers. Yes.
Yeah, I do think it is in line with their draft and development kind of thing that. Okay, we can let that go because, quite frankly, right, he's been kind of he hadn't had a great year. I think on more than once I've said I think he was a conscientious objector. So maybe that's why they finally had enough of him. But I do worry a little bit about these guys. You're like, okay, maybe what we thought all these people were, they are not living up to the draft day number where they were taken.
Yeah, John.
Which, by the way, doesn't mean Barry's off the hook. Okay, so I'm not letting that. Let's not go overboard here. Okay.
Two quick things. We all forgot that the gripes Aaron Rodgers had was the fact that the Packers never made moves. That's why he was ready to get up out of here. And also, John, you seem a little dejected today. You seem like you believe a little bit less in this Green Bay Packers team to make it to the promised land of a Super Bowl. Is that a correct diagnosis of your mood here?
I don't know.
Too,
Kyle. It might be. Honestly, a lot of this might just be that we've had a big month, and now I got out of it. I got through all this stuff, and I'm just a little airs out of the balloon in general. Just has nothing to do with the Packers. But I do think everybody should go, okay, well, we thought maybe we were close, but the Lions look like a much better team, right? There were things in there they could do. You think, oh, well, okay, if they don't throw the pick. But I don't think at any point in there after the Lions went down there and Goff just decided to complete as many passes as he wanted to. Like at no point did you go, okay, well, this other team, these are like kind, and this could be a toss-up under good conditions or whatever. Like, I just walked away from that going, okay, Lions, much better team. And the Packers have work to do to catch them, and I don't know if they have the personnel to do that on the roster as it is right now, or that will take a different shift in an attitude in that right now. But that's the biggest thing. So I don't know that I'm super dejected about it. I'm like, wow, okay, that's pretty matter of fact. That Lions team, better than the Packers team. Pretty simple.
Pretty simple from John Anderson. They'll go more in depth coming up next on the Homer Hour with our guy Homer from 5 to 6. Don't go anywhere on 94.5 ESPN or on YouTube.